Crossover.
Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over. Nasty.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Time for the crossover. Powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Matt, Josh, good morning.
I'm proud of myself.
I'm proud of you every day, Matt.
I'm proud of you too, buddy.
Thank you, Connor. I'm proud of myself because yesterday we were talking about this before we got on the air. There was a lot. I played softball for the first time in Omaha, 12 in softball. Love playing softball in Lincoln and Chicago growing up. And yesterday there were a lot of shenanigans that were going on during the softball game. And old Matt, younger Matt, a couple of years ago, Matt would have gotten mad about it, gotten frustrated about it.
Oh, yeah. The worst thing you can do at softball is get mad.
Probably say something to the referee, like say something to the umpire, like make a snarky remark, or probably say something to the other team to like talk crap. I did none of that yesterday.
Good job by you.
At one point, the score was wrong. Somehow we got the score wrong.
Who cares?
And we thought it was a 4-4 game and it was a 5-4 game. And the other team was trying to communicate to me that they were winning. And do you know what I did? I go, talk to him. I put my hands up and I go, talk to the umpire.
If they
don't talk to me,
I would have said, sure, you guys can be winning. That's that's fine.
And I was like, talk to that guy. And then the umpire goes, oh yeah, I guess I added it wrong. That's the game. And I in the past would have gone up to him and been like, that's terrible, or that's bull crap, or that's whatever. And do you know what
I'm really proud of you.
I walked to the car. I was just like, you know what?
Nice job by Ron too. I think Ron's your umpire. It sounded like Ron absolutely rules. If anybody's ever played softball at Kelly, then they probably know Ron. And everyone knows Ron. Ron knows everybody.
He's a sweet guy.
Ron's the best.
He's a sweet man. It's just I asked him what the strike zone was, and then he just didn't answer my question.
Yeah, don't ask him stuff like that.
You should know what the strike zone is.
Don't talk to Ron that way.
Back in Lincoln,
Matt,
like you had
mat style. Yeah.
You had a mat, and so you hit the mat, it's a strike.
They don't have the mats in Omaha.
So in Chicago, they do what they do in Omaha, where it's like there's this kind of little tiny square behind the plate.
Sure.
And so I was like, "Hey, is it right here?" And he looked at me and he looked down and he was like, and then he was like, "Play ball." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, sounds great."
Ron can really smell bad vibes, and I bet you had them.
I did not have bad vibes at all. I did not have bad vibes. He
could tell that you were a former softball arguer.
Poll question. Can you smell Matt McMaster's vibes?
I just
Insta poll.
The woman who was pitching to me, who was doing different grips on the pitch to the point where I wanted a pitch count. I wanted a pitch clock on her because now I didn't say this, but I'm standing in the box for 13 seconds.
Just a waste of everyone's time.
She's got a mouth guard in, and she's breathing heavy.
Seconds.
And I'm
Me
like,
too, but it's still a waste of time.
I'm like, this is not that big of a deal. Just throw the ball. Just throw me the ball.
I should be in the batter's box for no more than 6 seconds.
My at bat should not take longer than 30 seconds. I will take one pitch.
I'd cut that into thirds at least.
I take one pitch and then I swing at 2, 3, and 4. That's how I play softball. I take
a pitch?
I take one pitch. I just want to see it. I'm like, okay, cool. I probably would have.
There it is, hanging up there.
Yeah, I was like, probably would have swung.
Hey, it looked the same as the last at bat.
I was like, all right, there it is, cool. Like, whatever. And then the next 3 pitches, I am swinging the entire time.
I'm mostly proud of you. I don't like some of the things I've heard here, but I'm mostly proud of you.
Wait, you don't like I take a pitch?
No.
You got to take a pitch.
No, you don't.
I
don't
know anyone that takes
this team that we were playing. I was getting mad in the outfield, but I didn't say anything and I didn't start a fight.
Who are you going to tell in the outfield?
Okay.
Tell it to the judge.
This chick who was pitching.
Oh, she's a chick.
We're a new team. We're a brand new team, right? This was our very first game. You can tell it was our first game all playing together. And we don't have a person who's pitched before. Okay. And my team did a pretty poor job of making it very well known to everybody.
Construction seems questionable.
No, we're going to be a good
like
team.
6 wings.
But we had somebody who
belly itchers.
We had somebody who never pitched before, and they could tell that the guys that we had pitching had never pitched, so they just weren't swinging. They were just taking walks.
That's an embarrassment.
And then this pitcher who was
sounds like
pitching,
both teams were embarrassing.
She was like, I mean, we were embarrassing in terms of fact. We made 3 errors the entire game, which is pretty impressive considering it's our first go around, but we couldn't hit. But this woman pitcher, just like at one point she goes, "Oh my God, I want to swing." I'm like, if we didn't swing at your pitches, we'd be walking too. I wanted to say that so loud, but I didn't because I'm matured.
Instead, you just said it on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I just had to get it out.
Well, I'm glad you have someone to tell,
Thank you.
and those people are us.
That's important.
Yes.
We're happy to be here for you.
Yeah.
So I've progressed as a human. I didn't get into a fight in softball when in the past.
One game, no fight.
No fights.
How many times did you walk?
Really not even much of an outburst. It doesn't seem like.
No, I didn't. I literally said nothing. Shocking. Didn't say a thing. I just walked to the car.
Did
Went
people
home.
have fun?
Yeah, we had a good time.
Okay.
It's a good team. We got a good crew. We got a good group. It's fun. They're athletic, like they know what they're doing. We know what we're doing. People
Except for who's pitching.
yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
You
But
gotta-
Colby's gonna figure it out. Colby will figure it
All
out.
right, Colby, it's on you.
It's all on him. He's probably
Good luck, Colby.
he might be listening right now at his construction job.
Colby, pick the right pitcher.
We picked Dan, my roommate, and he,
Dan couldn't throw a strike.
Dan could not throw a strike. Dan didn't know. Dan's a much better shortstop though, so I don't know why he was even pitching.
No, you can't put your best player at pitcher. That's the worst idea.
But that's what
You
Dan
put
wanted.
people like me at
Dan-
pitcher because I offer little else other than playing first base.
Dan wanted control. Like Dan's a great athlete, and so Dan wanted to like
Dan's
control
gonna be the
environment.
shortstop.
Exactly. But then he dropped one in the outfield. I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Come on, Dan.
I know. We should have. The team that we lost to yesterday, we will beat at the end of the year.
Okay.
We will
Put it on the list.
We will crush them at the end of the year.
What was that team called?
We've got the runs.
All right, I'm going to look up the standings.
Yeah,
I'm going to check your
What
league
is your
here.
team called?
the Super Sluggers.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. I wanted to be the Omaha Athletics and then just get a bunch of Oakland A's hats is what I wanted to
Okay.
do. That was my idea.
Not a bad idea.
I just
Their hat's already made, so you don't have
Exactly.
to do anything extra.
and it's just like you need a baseball hat too. You need a hat that you can play baseball with. There's a
Sure.
difference. So I
Do
wanted
you
to
guys
go
have
that.
uniforms?
We will never get uniforms.
You promise?
I promise.
Okay.
I promise. But if we all got Oakland Athletics hats, like that's like
So you guys we got the runs?
no, we lost till we've got the runs.
Okay.
We're the
let's-
Super Sluggers.
Yeah, you guys lost. Wow, this is embarrassing. 5-4.
Couldn't get the bats going.
5-4.
It's our first. It's a lot of the.
He did tell us that was the score.
Sorry, I missed that part.
Our defense was great, so we needed a sub for yesterday's game, and I nearly texted you, and I figured that I didn't.
I may have showed up.
I actually did not.
Similar to if you would have asked him to go to the bar, he might have done it.
I told
Nice.
Dan, I go,
Fair.
I'll ask Happer. And Dan said, do you think Happer would show up? And I go, I don't know.
What time was it?
7:30.
Was it a doubleheader or was it just one?
Just one game.
I may have done it.
I will put you down on the. I'll put you-
Haber
I'll put
sub
it
for
down.
my softball team in Lincoln.
The reason I quit softball is because I couldn't do the doubleheaders anymore. It was just too much of
We
a
only
time
got
commitment.
one game a week.
Yeah.
Dan was like, are you sure he would do it? And I go, knowing Happer, it would either be a resounding no, I'm gonna be with my family, or it would have been a hell yeah, of course I'll do that. That'll be fun.
You never know which one you're going to get.
I
It's
never
like
know.
a box of chocolates.
I never still to this day, I'll never forget the one time Happer texted me and said, would you like to go to this place with me? And I dropped everything I was doing
And ran.
and literally like
You did.
I
was
was
nice.
I was so excited. We had a great night.
We went to the trap room.
He did go to the trap.
It was great.
That's a great bar. I got to do Thursday beers with those guys.
So the other teams in your league appear to be Next Chapter Books and Gifts.
Okay.
We've got the runs. So we got the runs played a doubleheader last night.
Yeah.
Well, what happened there?
They're not good.
Big F may be the worst team because they lost to the Alcoholics.
Nice. That's a great name.
17-2. Bat Intentions lost 16-2 to Double Six Pack. And Bush League, spelled B-U-S-C-H,
Sure.
get it? Beat Mud Dogs 13-9. And the Omaha Royals Creative beat HDR, which is, I think, just a construction
Equally
company.
creative, but in the other way.
Yeah. So Dan and I, we had our post game meeting afterwards, which was just, it was Dan and then two of the girls and I, or Dan and I and two of the girls on our team, and we talked for 15 minutes. And we came to the conclusion that we are going to win games in this league, and we are going to eventually be good, but we will play much better teams than we've got.
Tonight must be the opening night for my old team. I'm looking at the.
What's your old team's name? What is the best softball team name you've ever seen?
There's some really, really. Most of them are horrible.
What do you think of Super Sluggers?
Bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Could be worse.
Do you know why we did Super Sluggers? Because we liked the game Mario Super Sluggers growing up, and we all played it on the Wii, and we were like, that game ruled.
Yeah, I actually don't think I've ever seen a good softball team name.
Really? You don't like the Jack Mitchell experience? You don't think that's a great softball team name?
No.
They got no hit.
I have not enjoyed the Jack Mitchell experience.
Jack one time tried telling me that
I live the Jack Mitchell experience often, and I'm like, what is going on
Jack
here?
one time tried to play off that he was humble, and I'm like, yeah, a humble guy definitely would name a whole softball team after himself.
Yes. He probably said it's a bit.
It's funny.
It's a bit.
I played on that team. I didn't get one hit.
Definitely no good names.
You didn't get a hit?
I played so bad. I was terrible.
Did you play one time, or was this multiple games?
This was multiple games. I think it was really, we would have 14 dudes show up.
You were
Nick
saying
Grimm
that you would
outperform you?
never strike out, but you never got a hit?
You guys are going to hate me, but I walked a lot in the Jack Mitchell softball.
Yeah, that's right.
You're canceled.
Yeah, there it is. I've now grown up. I've grown up into the
What was this? A year ago?
This was 3 years ago.
Hey, did Nick get kicked off the Jack Mitchell team?
I'm guessing probably the drive to Lincoln was too much for him after the show.
I was
I was surprised he ever did it in the first place.
I don't ever really remember being on Nick's team or ever meeting Nick.
He was kind of like a fill-in, I think, mostly.
Yeah.
Maybe played like a fall year.
There was Mark Onweiler was on the team.
Yes,
the time he was at the zone.
Yes.
So that was the one zone guy. There was Pat Norris, the equipment manager for
Great
Husker
guy.
men's basketball. Awesome guy. Pat would bring Old Style to the games, and I hadn't had Old Style in forever up to that point. And he would and then he got to the point where he was like packing it for me. And I was
that's
Pat.
nice.
He's such a nice guy.
Good dude.
Such a good dude. I love that I'm back into the softball swing.
All right.
I'm very happy. This is probably going to be the only time we talk about it. I don't want to become softball as my personality guy.
Thursday shows, we're going to be talking about softball and lacrosse.
I was going to say, I have a hard time believing this will be the only time we talk about it. It will come up again. You're going to come in.
One of these Thursdays, you're going to have a Ron experience where your newfound Hakuna Matata personality has gone away, and you will have fought Ron.
And then
you'll talk about it.
Put this down on the board for me. Ooh. And Matt won't even remember that I'm saying this, so we're good. Ooh. 1 week from today, Matt will come in and will say, "I'm sore."
Oh.
Or something like that.
His back.
Yeah, he'll say, I'm just a little sore.
Odson spent so much time with me. I would say my back. I'd come in with a over-exaggerated limp.
Yeah.
Is what I would do for you guys to ask.
I overswung when I hit it 420 last night.
I slid into second.
So that will happen. So we'll be talking about softball a week from right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do my best not to bring it up.
And then you'll go into this thing about how old you're getting, and we'll be like, Matt.
Am I that much of is the playbook that open on me at this point?
I mean,
I don't think there's a lot of need for scouting.
Yeah. I know Schaefer. Schaefer knows me. I know John. I know what everybody's thinking right now. It's like I could read everyone's mind.
All right, what is Mike thinking right now?
Mike is thinking.
He has no clue.
Well, I don't know what the topic.
All right, go
was.
ahead. Go to Odson. What is Odson thinking right now?
I don't know what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah. I saw blankness when I looked into it.
It's incredibly blank in here.
By the way, I mentioned Thursday beers, and now everybody's freaking out at the YouTube chat.
Whoa, yeah.
They're all. Chance goes, Thursday beers mentioned. Alex Kenneth, take it in here. Sindolar then gets in here. What's going on? I was on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Watch out. Do not publicize the Thursday beers graphics.
That's
all I have to say.
I will not. But I am golfing later today, and then maybe I will stop for Thursday beers. Maybe I haven't. I've been invited so many times. I feel like it's rude that I don't.
Maybe it's time. Maybe you could take your little walk down there.
What a great idea, Connor.
Mm-hmm.
I have passed by that bar
Mm-hmm.
on my,
It's right
know.
down there.
It is right down there.
Mm-hmm.
I walked to the old market a couple of days ago.
That's way further from where you live than that.
It was
Just
a great
make sure that you keep your wallet in your car.
No holes in your pants.
Yeah.
I
put on your adult pants.
I've learned my lessons. I'm no longer walking with holes in my pants anymore. Okay. I'm maturing. I'm
I'm glad
better.
to hear it.
I'm getting better. You two keep me honest.
Schaefer, what are you going to do tonight? What are you up to?
Oh,
I got no plans tonight, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got nothing for Thursday. I don't know what that means for me the rest of the day. I have nothing on the schedule the rest of the day.
I'm excited for you.
It's pretty fantastic. It means anything could happen.
You should go to the zoo.
I want to go to the zoo. I want to take my son to the zoo. We haven't signed up for a family membership.
Do you want my single person membership for today to just go and walk around?
No, that's okay.
Okay. I got it for you.
I don't think I'm a single person going to the zoo age anymore.
Oh, when does that run out?
I would have guessed
Whenever you get a girlfriend.
So for me, it'll be quite a while.
Which whenever it happens. I whatever you want.
happens at different times for different people.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
there's no age per se. I just think I don't think I can see myself going to the zoo as a single person.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome. It's one of my.
It sounds fun.
It's one of my favorite things I do.
This
sounds
isn't
fun.
to say that you shouldn't.
No.
I'm just saying, like,
No,
I
know
right
what you're
now, 38-year-old me looking like this just went to the zoo by myself.
Yeah, there's better things that you
I
can
just think
do.
more so, Schaefer, like you would just have a lot of questions to answer from people who are close to
That
you.
is what I'm.
Yeah.
Like someone's like, "Hey, what'd you do today?" I went to the zoo. Like, "Oh, who'd you go with?" It was just me. What'd you do? Well, I went to go see if there was tigers.
Your family would be asking, "Where are you?
Yeah.
Why didn't you take me? What did you
Are you
sign up for a
depressed?
membership? Yeah, like did you need to get away from it? Do you hate me? You know, like all these things. Like you would have to answer so many questions, and you have to answer none.
I have to answer none. It's
Except for
awesome.
really us. We're the only people who really ask you questions about why you do the things you do, which I'm glad you have us.
Is a fascinating point about your younger years is nobody really asks you why or what you're doing.
No.
Yeah.
And now it's very
complete
hard to
freedom.
do anything for even 2 hours of time without people wondering where you are
Exactly.
and when you're going to return and what you're doing or what you have going on in the next day.
I don't associate Connor Happer being one of the smartest people I know. I don't associate you being one of the 5 smartest people I know.
I'm definitely not.
But
He wanted you to be more insulted by that than you
but-
probably were going to be.
I got a good self-scout.
I'm not. I wasn't really going. Well, here's the thing. It was the insult setup for the compliment. I think 3 of more of the smartest things that I've heard over the last probably year and a half now have come from Connor Happer's
Why'd you
mouth.
pick 3? Are you doing a Bill Simmons thing here?
He told
Where you pick the random numbers?
List them.
He told me
What are the 8 best guards in the NBA on
yeah,
Thursday?
he's probably. I mean, he's got to be like a top 7 guy in the NBA right now. Bill,
that's what Bill.
thank you.
thought.
He says crap like
He
that
do be
all the
doing
time.
that. You know, Bob Cousy still exists. You know, I mean, Bob Cousy. You know, was pretty good. Bob Cousy was pretty good. Connor told me like essentially money grows back. Spend your money, enjoy your life. And I've now kind of lived with that motto, and my life has been exponentially better.
I don't know if this is all any good advice
since
but
I've done that.
sharing my experiences.
Connor has said, I didn't hear him say it live, but on the promo of like the best part of being in your 20s is that you just don't have anything to do. You can just do what you want when you want to do it.
Yeah,
and it's just
this
you
is
do
the
it.
same idea.
You answer to nobody. And I'm like, Connor could not be more right in terms of the fact that I love my life because I do it that way. There's really only 2. I can't think of a third thing. So
there was never a third thing. You just
I think I
picked a
just
number.
like I regurgitated basically that take. I repackaged it and regurgitated that take just a moment ago.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's why you thought of it because it was
Exactly.
so profound.
I mean, it's true. I mean, I never thought of it that way until you're correct. That is the best part. I don't have
Experience
to answer
helps.
to anybody.
I'm still a young man. I have much to learn. Imagine how smart John Bishop is. That guy is old.
No, I don't imagine how smart John is.
He is very smart. He knows things.
He definitely knows things. There's no question about that.
Got a text here from
I
Bill.
question whether he can still enjoy things.
Yes.
Yeah, he may have passed over
His
the
knowledge,
median line.
his knowledge might be vast.
Yeah.
His ability to enjoy whatever it is in the moment that he's doing.
The knowledge has become a burden.
Yes.
That's exactly it.
I don't know when you cross over the line, but you'll know.
I
when
don't
you see
want
it.
to.
No, I don't either, but it's coming. Josh, what's the text?
Text from Bill. I started in a Wednesday golf league at Tiburon last night that starts at 5:30. I need to know what type of balls Matt plays with so I can provide Thursday updates on how many of his lost balls I find.
Good one. Do you mark them?
Bridgestone.
Do you mark them?
No, but I'm
The tire company?
Yeah.
You don't
Okay.
put like a
Golf
couple
balls.
dots on it. You
No.
don't draw a line to
No
help
one-
your putting.
Can I tell you? No one else plays Bridgestone. So it's just
That is not true.
No,
Not that anyone-
Bridgestones.
no one that I've played with has been like, I'm also hitting. a
But there's
Bridgestone.
other Bridgestones out
Now,
there.
if you'd have been
Probably.
like, I play with noodles, no one else plays with noodles, I would believe that.
No,
Probably.
many noodles. Noodles is the cheapest one.
I know Kirkland signature. There's a lot of people in the Tiburon
I
golf league
mark
playing
my
with
Kirkland balls, so I have to.
Yeah.
I'm not a ball marker guy, but I have to mark.
If
my
you go
Kirkland
into the
balls.
woods and you find a ball, I feel like there's a 60% chance you're finding a Kirkland.
Absolutely.
I think there is a very high probability.
You do seem like someone who would spend his time while golfing looking for golf balls.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I do not.
Not necessarily your own, but you just like
Mhm.
you're like, oh, I want to keep finding these random stray golf.
No. I will help the other team find their golf.
Sure, yeah, not that. I meant like
No,
you're going along and you see a golf ball that clearly wasn't from your group playing the
Can
hole.
I add to that?
In lieu of buying.
You seem like a guy who would spend some time in the woods to blow off steam.
Oh,
You need to be separated from the pack.
Okay.
100%
Can't
can see
Sergio
that.
Garcia this.
couple of things here. First off, the opposite. I really am not. I really don't go searching for golf balls. I've really never done that. I've always just kind of been like, I want to play my ball. Okay, and I get nervous about picking up other.
Well, I don't mean
balls.
that you just wander off in the.
No,
court.
I know,
I
but
think
even-
you're maybe misunderstanding.
No. I don't take extra time at all. I don't take extra time at all to find other people's balls in the woods that aren't a part of my group. I don't do
No
that.
ball finding.
No ball finding for Matt.
Okay.
I don't do the walking into the woods to blow off steam, but we will be in a cart, and if I have a bad shot,
You're walking it.
I will go. I'll walk to it.
Very common.
I'll walk to it.
It's
I'll
a
meet
good
you up
move.
there.
It's really safe.
You know, it's not necessarily.
I'll meet you up there.
It's not necessarily after one bad hit. If I have two consecutive bad, like top the ball or ground ball it, and I'm like, you go to your ball, I'll meet you up there.
Walking is a great way to either blow off steam or to just reassess or reset. And, it doesn't have to be golf. It's anything.
Honestly, there are moments where it's like I'll hit a 5-iron, and I'll hit it twice, and now I'm 110 yards out, and I'll be like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to choke up, and I'm going to ground ball this thing up to the green.
No,
You know,
like
that's
quitting on holes.
Sometimes you got to quit on a hole. Sometimes you just got to get it up there. You just can't. You can't think about it anymore.
I mean that you can't have that mentality. You gotta finish it. You never know when the strokes. You never know when you could put one nice and tight. Your round turns around. You
Like
never know.
That's why you keep coming back.
Every pitch matters.
You also just can't assume because you had a good hole that any subsequent good holes.
That's
will
right.
follow.
That's why you don't say anything. About
I
it.
almost fought my dad when I had a really good shot. And he goes, "What did you do there? Do that again." And I go, "Stop it.
Easier said than done.
Stop it. I don't know what I
You
did
don't
there.
know what you did.
I don't know what I did there. And there's no way I'm going to replicate that over and over again."
Josh, what was the phone call about? I'm curious. You seemed interested.
Yeah, I was. Guy suggested a new way of playing golf for us. See what he does is he goes out there and he hits the ball, and then he goes to where the ball was supposed to go, and he just drops a ball there and continues playing, and he doesn't keep score.
All right.
That
That's
sounds
very
miserable.
leisurely.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a terrible way to play
It does
golf.
seem enjoyable in a certain way.
Less stress.
You're just hitting to where you want to be.
Uh-huh.
It's like if nothing ever mattered.
Yeah.
I'd score. I'd have an albatross every hole.
Yeah.
I'm aiming for the hole. Oh,
It doesn't.
I
sound,
missed
it
it.
sounds
Oh,
like
it
he
would have
doesn't
gone
even
in.
score it.
He did not keep score, he said.
Yeah.
That sounds like a miserable way to play golf. That does not sound.
I mean,
fun
it'd be
to me.
cool if every shot was where it was supposed to be. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, when you have a round like that,
But I
it
want
is
to. I
amazing.
want to earn it. I want to have that one.
I don't think I've ever had a round like that. where you're 70.
It's the whole reason that you play.
You're
again is to
78 last year.
My 78 was that.
You're
yes.
78.
Chase around like that when you have it.
I know.
Because you want that feeling.
You told me you told me that you shot a 78.
I was just the most dialed I've ever been in my life.
It kind of haunted me for multiple hours, being like, I wish I had that. I wish I had that moment. I wish I had
it too. It's gone now.
Like I have
Comparison is a thief of joy.
I have four holes.
There's your fortune cookie of the day.
Yeah.
I have 4 holes like that where I go par, bogey, par. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this is incredible.
Don't ever think about it. Don't ever say that, though. You can't ever say, this is great. I'm playing great, because then it'll explode immediately.
There is a thing with me, though, when I start smoking a cigar and I start playing better immediately. I don't know what. Maybe I think it keeps my shoulders
Have you found your beer flow state?
You picked the cigar.
I think the cigar keeps my shoulders square. I think it's because I have to, like,
Everybody's got their thing.
focus on the cigar and, like, pierce my lips that I'm more square.
Think too much.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out there for about the 8th crossover out of the last 3 months.
I am trying to judge you less, Matt. I would like to try to judge you less.
No, I like this. I like. You're right. I need the people in my life. I need people in my life to be like, why are you the way that you are? There are moments where I get mad about it, and I probably shouldn't get as mad about it. But I do appreciate your guys' friendship.
I think that you should smoke cigars and play golf. I just don't think you should put the two of them together as if it means it.
I'm telling you right now. Look at the results. Right when I smoke a cigar and I'm golfing, I get way more pars and I get way more better shots when I'm smoking said cigar. And it's happened now multiple times in front of friends.
Okay,
Everybody's got their thing. Everybody's got their thing.
I don't think you need to judge me less. I don't think you need to judge me less at all. I just
Judge you more?
No, I think you're doing it a proper amount. I think the judging is right where it needs to be.
All right.
You know?
We'll see. We'll see where the dial gets turned to. You never know.
like
Tony
a-
writes in, is McMaster a club thrower? Feels like you maybe have tossed a couple.
I did last Wednesday.
That's can't be tossing. No tossing.
I'd underhand it though.
I don't think that club needs to be in the air.
It gets 3 feet off
Are
the
you
ground.
a slammer?
No. I don't. I like my clubs. I don't want to break my clubs.
But you're tossing it.
I like underhand it. I'm like,
Where do you toss it to?
the cart? I throw it back.
You're
the cart.
tossing your club into the cart.
It's away
Like
from the
next
cart.
to the cart.
Next to the cart.
I have found this one to be effective. If you can somehow bottle it in for like 5 more seconds, when you put the club back into your bag,
Yeah, the slam.
it into your bag.
Love that.
But not like loudly, so you're trying to make a scene or anything,
Yeah.
but just enough to,
I'm
yeah.
great at this for the people on the YouTube with the fake club throw where you like finish and then you go, you like hezzy, you're like you're gonna do it and then you like pull up. I'm really good at the,
Yeah.
And then you do that and you walk away.
Just an incredible visual medium. This radio.
We got to go play.
Yeah, we got to get.
I would love to
thinking about it.
play. I would love. Well,
You can
know,
come out to
if
me-
I play like I did last night, I might just
What-
quit.
Come out to me in
entirely.
Schaefer's neck of the
It
woods.
was so
What'd
bad.
you shoot?
Horrible.
What'd you shoot?
I shot a 56.
Wow,
Worse than I
It's
shot at all
bad.
last year.
that's tough.
On a course that is not a course you shoot a
50,
56 on.
56 is a worse than double bogey average.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. It was horrible.
You got to come out to our neck of the woods and play some golf.
I love West Omaha. I will gladly come out.
Yeah, you're
to
out there all the
West
time going to Shields and walking around.
I love Village Point. I love being out there. I got to go to Mouth of the South. I passed by it on 168th.
Center. Yeah.
Yeah, 168th. That street that
Oscars is right out there.
that thing's popping. That
Shout-
street's popping.
Shout out to our boys from Oscars.
I went to Runza over there.
Runs will be out there.
I got some chicken tenders. It was the first time I went to Runza in like a year. I'm
nice.
a big fan. I
heard they recently put instead of chicken tenders inside the salads, I heard they recently made the change to popcorn chicken.
That's right.
And has caused a stir
you
in the Runza consumer community.
You can
Whoa.
the 2 chicken options at Runza are popcorn chicken and chicken
I
tenders.
didn't even know they had popcorn chicken. Is this a new development?
I am not a Runza guy, so I cannot
2
tell
or
you.
3 years.
They phased out the mini corn dogs and
Yeah.
replaced it with the popcorn
This is
chicken,
true.
which was a total loss on the menu.
Yeah, I got problems now. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it happened in COVID, and
you look really concerned right now.
The mini corn dog's a
were
great
phenomenal.
option.
I never had the mini corn dog.
I occasionally would tweet at Runza, which has tweeted at me in the past, and then they never responded about when the mini corn dogs were coming
Their
back.
silence is deafening.
It hurt in a lot of ways.
I can't tell you the last time I had a corn dog in general. I don't.
Oh, really?
I've never been. I go to fairs all the time and stuff like that. I've never been
You go to
enticed.
fairs all the time.
Yeah, in the summer back home. it's-
Chicago has a bunch of fairs.
Yeah, a lot of festivals.
Really?
A lot of festivals.
Would
going
not
on.
have festival,
Coachella?
sure, but like a fair.
Or what is it?
Oh, I guess.
Lollapalooza?
Sorry. I apologize. Festival. I go to a lot of
Okay.
festival food.
Are
Not
you
a
a
thing.
Lollapalooza guy?
Yeah, yeah, that type of stuff. Lala, no, I never went to Lala. I never will go to Lala. I have no interest in going.
The Lala thing was always going on during Big Ten Media Days, and I was mildly annoyed that it was.
Those are the worst.
Have you ever been to a multi-day music festival?
Absolutely not.
Have you?
No, I have. Multi-day. No,
I would be the least likely.
I have. I have no.
I'm like
want.
confused as to who.
I
wants
know
it.
what all you guys are thinking, and all you guys are thinking never in my absolute nightmares.
No,
Kill me first.
no.
100%.
It's hot. It's sweaty. You're standing all day. Everything's super expensive. You're
We
surrounded.
don't have very many concert goers that work here at 1620 The Zone, with the exception of Grim and Nim.
I think Peterson back in the day seems like a guy who would travel to a lot of.
Yeah,
different
he
places.
hates music.
When's the last time
that's
you
a good
listened to
point.
music?
Yeah, he
Like,
only listens
I
to
forget.
podcasts on double
2002?
speed.
That's a great point.
I think he likes socially having a good time, but he would go along with someone if invited, but it would never be his idea to go to a concert.
I'm going to the Zach
What if
Bryan.
it was a podcast concert?
Now that is a concert.
Oh.
If Simmons came here and taped,
Oh my God,
Yeah.
he'd be up in
Simmons
there.
Fest.
he'd buy the VIP pass. He'd
I'm amazed
spend
there
down.
isn't a Simmons Fest.
Can you imagine?
They
a
go and live tape their pods in
Sure, yeah.
in places. Yeah.
Hey, Bill, I was wondering, the dawn of PER has definitely changed the way we analyze NBA players. How do you think it's affected Bob Cousy and John Havlicek's legacy?
Now, if someone asked Bill that question, he would love it.
He would love it.
But I don't
He'd be
think
like, "Oh my
anyone in their
God,
right mind
I'm
would.
concerned how easy it was for you to come up with that question.
I love BS. I love him. He had a vlog yesterday with his son about Steph Curry and the Clippers.
And I was vlog.
Or a vlog. He vlogged him and
Was it him power walking?
It was him in his car stuck in LA Clipper traffic with him and his son giving Curry and Clipper takes.
I love
And
that
I
guy,
was-
yeah.
He's
I was-
definitely ventured into more
I
like
was-
influencer territory.
I was captivated by it. It was like, I'm in the car here with Ben and, sitting next to these Clipper fans and they just knew it. Decades they've been here. They just knew it was going to go south. Oh, he was so good. But I would do Bill Simmons Fest. I would never do a country concert.
I don't share the same reaction to Bill, I think, as you do. It seems like you have a lot of reverence for him. I think he's funny.
I think you like him more because he's weird.
Yes, 100%.
And
100%.
I like him more because I think he's just brilliant.
You think he can craft perfect sports takes?
I think that I've told you this before.
He's an architect.
He's
an architect of perfect sports takes.
He is an artist.
Yeah.
See,
I don't care about his takes.
Like I told you this before. Like I sometimes get mad. I got mad at you last week because you had a take. And I was like, why didn't I have that take? Like, why didn't I think of it that way? Like, I get mad listening.
Comparison is the thief
And
of
I don't,
joy.
and I don't, you know what? If I have too much joy in my life, I get too hype, I get too excited and I become less self-aware.
Then why do you
What
love
was the
Bill
take?
so much?
I don't recall having a good take in years.
I think I look at Bill and I don't get mad at Bill. I'm just like, I couldn't do that. You know?
Oh, wow.
Like I couldn't do that. Like I get
a terrible way to live.
I look at Schaefer, I go, I could have done that. I could have had that take.
Yeah.
I look at Bill and
Anyone could've.
I look at Bill and I go, I just can't think that way. You know, I just can't. And it's like watching LeBron James play basketball. You don't watch LeBron James and think I can do that.
What was the take?
This is just an overwhelming, just years and years of listening to
Okay.
Bill Simmons.
No,
and
I
just
meant me.
how
Like, what did
you,
I say last
You
week?
were talking about the construction of like Nebraska basketball and how like the way that it could be more sustainable. And I was like, and I was like,
remember.
I was like, that's pretty good.
So do you
Fairy
sit with the
dust.
news of the day, like at your apartment, and like try and think about it a different way, or do you just
you
are
actively
your
trying
takes
to-
just your reactions?
I have a knee jerk reaction, and then I will say my take out loud, and then I will go, "That's dumb" or "That's great." That's just how I process
The
this.
system.
And then I will.
I don't have a system.
Sometimes
either.
when I think I have a hot take, I'll tell Dan. I'll go, "Hey," and I'll tell Dan my take.
I don't think you should think about your opinions in one as takes.
Agreed.
Two,
I think it's just a word.
you shouldn't then worry about whether the alleged take or opinion is hot.
Yeah, you have too many filters.
I go to Dan just to hear what the argument back would be. Like, what would the counter take be?
Luckily, you do a solo show.
So, that's the crossover. Powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Middays with Matt coming up next.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
That's an absolutely horse crap call.
Make room for Daddy. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Chicago is.
This is Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays with Matt, live and rolling here on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network. Matt McMaster, as always, joined by Josh Odson. J.O., how are you?
I'm doing all right.
J.O., a nickname you had growing up?
No, it was not.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
All right, cool.
That's fine.
Good to know. We're going to put that in. I'm a nickname guy. Everybody.
Okay.
You just got to kind of try things out.
Absolutely.
You just throw, it's like learning how to swim by throwing somebody into the water, right? With no life preserver. Just figure it out, kid. By the way, not some major breaking news, but some news from Shams Charania. The NBA and the NBAFPA have ruled in favor of Lakers' Luka Doncic and Pistons' Cade Cunningham on their extraordinary circumstances challenges for the 65-game award rule, making them both eligible for all 2025-2026 honors such as MVP, All-NBA team, sources tell ESPN. Shams continues. Doncic missed 2 games in December due to the birth of his child abroad, and Cunningham had a collapsed lung. Minnesota's Anthony Edwards filed a challenge as well, but his case was advanced to an independent arbitrator, but was denied and is not eligible for awards, sources say. The reason I bring this up is we will talk about the NBA today. We will.
Watch out, John.
For like 10 minutes. It'll be the segment where it's like, I do it for me. It'll be that, because we have a segment today where it's like, I'm just, I gotta get my takes.
10 of these are for you. One of them's for us.
One of them's for us. And I used to love the NBA. I don't like it as much, not nearly as much as I used to. And by the way, did I watch the Clippers Golden State Warriors game yesterday?
No.
God, no. I'm boycotting the.
Why would you?
I'm boycotting the play-in. By the way, credit to me. I had a good take and I didn't give myself enough credit.
Allow us to do that for you.
On Monday, I was telling you how the 2020s were the days of the expanded playoffs. And I actually mistakenly said that the NFL expanded the playoffs in 2019. I was wrong. It was actually in 2020. I got my years mixed up. So indeed, the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, the college football playoff have all, and eventually college basketball will all expand their playoffs in the 2020s. Absolutely disgusting, if you ask me. What was not disgusting, though, was Steph Curry turning back the clock. I mean, I saw some highlights of it. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Even Draymond, by the way. Draymond had a vintage performance.
Draymond had 2 steals at the end of the game?
Dude, he was... Ty Lue kept running the same play over and over and over and over again.
Got to question that young man's schooling.
You know what? No, you don't.
Oh.
I don't think there's any question about where he went to school. It was the University
No, I have to question the things he learned in school that prepared him for life.
I think there's some other questions, too, like being great friends with Chauncey Billups, is probably another more important question. Allegedly. We're not saying anything disparaging about Ty Lue other than he probably was, maybe LinkedIn is probably the website he's going to today. Potentially.
Okay.
Ty Lue, by the way, will be head coach of another basketball team very swiftly if he's not continuing to be the coach of the LA Clippers. He'll probably he'll be a head assistant on you know what? I'm calling it right now. Tyronn Lue, new head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Put it on the board.
Okay.
Ty Lue ends up being the Milwaukee Bucks head coach. But we'll go ahead. We'll talk about the NBA. We'll talk about the play-in game. Is the super team free agency era officially over in the NBA? Are we done with the era of LeBron James and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh going to the Heat, with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George going to the Clippers, with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant signing with the Brooklyn Nets? Are we done with that era of basketball? Are we now into the homegrown era of NBA basketball where you actually have to acquire draft picks and make good decisions in order to create a good team? we'll have that discussion. And everyone's freaking out that the Oklahoma City Thunder have a lottery pick now that the LA Clippers can now make the playoffs.
We told you that last week, but whatever.
The Oklahoma City Thunder will not get the number 1 overall pick in the draft. They will not. They will not. The NBA doesn't rig every draft lottery. They do not. You're a fool to think that they rig every single draft lottery. They only rig the important ones. Okay? The ones that are really important, that's where they have some meddling. Okay.
The ones you know about. Those are the ones.
Those are the ones. Yeah, the ones where it's like Anthony Bennett is the best. They're not rigging that one. Okay, get out of here.
Whoa.
But like,
there's a name I haven't heard.
They're not rigging that. The Victor Oladipo draft, they're not rigging that draft lottery. Okay, they're not doing that one. But the Zion Williamson draft lottery, you bet your ass they rigged that one. The Patrick Ewing draft lottery, you bet your ass they rigged that one. The LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Derrick Rose draft lotteries, they rigged those ones. Okay, they're gonna rig this one. Oklahoma City's not getting the number 1 overall draft pick.
What a resume here at Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, so he was drafted by the Cavs, traded to the Nets, and then didn't he have a stint with the Raptors?
Let's see. He was with the Cavs, Wolves, Raptors.
Yeah, there it is.
Then he went to the G League Raptors. Then he went to the NBA Nets, G League Nets, and then many overseas teams.
He was traded in the Wiggins to he was in the Kevin Love trade. He had 1 year with Minnesota.
Okay, this tracks. Yeah.
He was awful. The Cavaliers, in the last year of being bad with Kyrie Irving, get the number 1 overall draft pick. They get Andrew Wiggins. They trade him along with Anthony Bennett for Kevin Love. Kevin Love then joins Kyrie Irving and LeBron James signs in that offseason, is how that occurred. And then I think, no, Tristan Thompson was drafted by the Cavaliers a couple of years
151 NBA games, 4 starts.
One of the worst draft picks of all time.
4.4 points per game.
But I don't think that was like I don't think they passed on anybody for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they drafted Anthony Bennett and then the guy right after Anthony Bennett was terrible or was incredible. Like, I think the 2013 NBA draft lottery was just bad.
Well, it was Anthony Bennett, Victor Oladipo, Otto Porter Jr., who I was like, I was so sure Otto Porter Jr. was going to be the guy.
If we did, okay, can I be real with you?
Yeah.
I thought Ben McLemore was going to be a superstar. I thought that was such a good pick.
Yeah, no, this is a terrible draft.
So here's the thing. If we were to do all right, let's do the redraft, right? Mm-hmm. Clearly Giannis would go number 1. Sure. Now, there is a story of Atlanta was all over Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, Giannis was Atlanta's guy. And I believe they did a Giannis Antetokounmpo podcast 30 for 30. And Jonathan Givony was like, Atlanta tried trading up to like 14, but Utah was so in love with Shabazz Muhammad that they didn't want to give up 14 because they didn't think he'd still be there. So then he fell to Milwaukee at 15 is the story.
Rudy Gobert would be 2, and then
you're
falling down.
No, CJ McCollum.
Okay.
He made an all-star team. Then, yeah. Like, Gorgie Dang would be in the top 10 of this redraft. You know,
Kelly Olynyk would get consideration.
He would. Mike Muscala actually had a pretty good career considering how he played 550. Mike Muscala played 4 times as many games and had 7 more seasons than Anthony Bennett. And he was drafted 45th overall, and Bennett was the first pick in the draft. We were doing a redraft. Yeah, Giannis. Victor Oladipo had a very sneaky, great career, though. Mm-hmm. Very sneaky. Did not play a lot of games, though, in his 10 seasons. Averaged 50 games a year. Made 2 All-Star teams. Look at that. Victor Oladipo. Kids in 10 years, that's going to be like a name, you know? That'll be tough. I will officially reach Unk status when Victor Oladipo becomes like a deep cut. Like that's when I'll know I'm old. So we'll do probably the most NBA talk that we'll do ever on the show. We have a lot of local topics to cover though. Nebraska volleyball continues their determination to play anywhere other than the Bob Devaney Sports Center. They are now going to play Texas, reportedly in potentially Las Vegas is where that might end up being. Not an official announcement, but it was reported yesterday by Lincoln Arneal that in a luncheon, Danny Busboom-Kelly, the head coach of Nebraska volleyball, who led the team to an Elite Eight and an undefeated regular season, will have her team in the non-con play Texas. What a massive matchup between two former Big 12 foes and two powers in volleyball facing off against each other. So another big matchup for Nebraska volleyball. Also, there was some, not breaking news, but an interesting piece of news in college sports. It used to be every couple of years you could go and travel overseas. You couldn't do it every year. And, I think recently, 2 years ago, the Nebraska basketball team went out overseas. I forget where they went, but they went somewhere. That rule no longer exists. You can now travel overseas as a athletics team every single season if you so choose. That means that Nebraska volleyball is going somewhere next year. They are going somewhere overseas. I think Harper Murray, Andy Jackson, Bergen Riley might all take fifth years, just so they can have the overseas trip wherever they might go. I have a funny bit where I actually have odds for where they're going to end up traveling.
Okay.
In Europe or in other areas. Maybe they go to South America.
It's a big world.
Europe. It's a very big world. Now, the Nebraska volleyball team has, I remember John Cook tells a story of they traveled, I think, to Hong Kong, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe they don't go to Asia again, but, they probably go somewhere else. So we'll go ahead and have that conversation about where, fun conversation about Nebraska volleyball. We'll also talk about the stadium project because everybody loves to talk about the stadium project. Friday, we will find out if it's on the agenda. We'll find out the planning. We'll find out what it might cost. The Board of Regents will have a discussion about it.
Love going over the minutes of a Regents meeting.
Well, that's going to be your job. I'm not. You're kidding me. It's Middays with Matt. You think that Matt's going to go over the minutes? I'm going to have Josh go over the minutes, and then he's going to report back to me what it looks like.
You guys don't talk enough sports. Could you please go over the minutes of the Regents meetings? Nah.
That's you guys. That's what you guys sound like.
What is that? That was awesome.
That's my whiny fan voice.
Great. That might be better than my whiny fan voice. You guys don't talk enough sports. What's going on at the Board of Regents? I want to know how much the Memorial Stadium project is going to cost. That's mine.
That's a pretty good one.
Everyone has their own unique annoying fan voice. Sure. We will talk about the stadium project. We will talk about Nebraska football. We were meaning to get to it yesterday. Dane Brugler has some scouting reports on the Huskers that are going to be potentially drafted in the upcoming NFL draft, which is now officially a week away. We are, with 7 times 24, 168. We are 168 hours away from the Las Vegas Raiders being on the clock and eventually selecting Fernando Mendoza. What will happen after that? A lot of the heated debate between David Bailey or Arvell Reese, which then will turn into the heated debate between Francis Mawinoa and Arvell Reese, which then will turn into the heated debate between Francis Mawinoa and Jeremiah Love, which then we'll find out if the Giants take Sonny Styles or did the Dallas Cowboys trade up? That's the sexy pick everybody has.
You're hearing
happening.
it more and more this week.
You know what? The last time that the Dallas Cowboys traded up for a draft pick was in 2013. Since then, they've actually traded down 3 times in the first round. One of those picks being Micah Parsons. So there you go. So will they trade up? Will they? Yes, unfortunately. So we'll talk about the stadium project. I have a fun comparison in terms of that. Woj had an article today.
Wojbomb?
Adrian Wojnarowski, for people who forget, the former NBA insider, is now the general manager of the St. Bonaventure's Bonnies. He basically kind of lit his athletic department and donors on fire in an athletic article. So we'll talk about that.
What is it about those athletic reporters?
I don't know what's going on.
What's going on over there?
There's some very interesting takes that are surfacing the Twitters and the internets that about a topic that we will no longer talk about. We're no longer talking about it. We're done talking about it. We said it multiple times. We're done talking about it. Creighton added another player from the transfer portal.
I can't keep track. I can't keep up.
Hey, they're low-key killing it. Yeah, they're low-key doing a good job. Nebraska basketball, though, has another RPM, not another rotation per minute. Another, I don't even know what they call the RPM. Just call it a crystal ball. When did we start reinventing the wheel?
RPM.
I know. So dumb. So we'll talk about all that. We got basketball to talk about. We got Ahmad Hudson to talk about. We got football to talk about. We got volleyball to talk about. We got the NBA to talk about. It's going to be a fun, ever-moving show.
It's too much to talk about.
No, it's not. It's never too much. Here on Middays with Matt on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
We want to remind you to go to 1620thezone.com to enter into a plethora of different contests in order for you to win free tickets, like the Red Zone giveaway, a pair of tickets to see Zach Bryan with Kings of Leon and J.R. Carroll at Memorial Stadium, or Nate Bargatze, who's in the Metro at the CHI Health Center, also on April 25th. You can go ahead and enter to win those tickets. Or maybe even if you want to try your luck at getting tickets to the Black Keys or the Young Giant or Chris Stapleton or George Thorogood and the Destroyers, you can find all of that at 1620thezone.com. We welcome in one of our favorite guests of the week. It's not an interview. It's always a conversation with this man from Husker Online on 3 and 93.7 The Ticket in Lincoln. It's Mr. Stephen M. Sipple. Sip, how are you?
I'm good. I'm going to be better when I can pull off in my truck and talk to you instead of driving. I'm about 2 minutes from there, but go ahead. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You got a nice truck, by the way. I've complimented you about this multiple times. Is it still the gray one? Correct. It's a nice one. It's a nice ride you got.
Silver.
Yeah, silver. Oh, sorry. Is there a difference between silver and gray? Sip? Are we good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the last legs of this. I guess I'm just paid for next month, and I'm probably going to be making a change. But it's done good for me.
Have you always been a pickup truck man?
Yeah, but I might go a different route this next time. I'm thinking about a Challenger, like having a Price type thing,
Like Sanford. You want to get a car like Price Sanford?
Does he have a Challenger?
I don't know if he's got a Challenger, but he's got a nice, it's a smaller kind of sport car type deal. You want to get like a sport car type deal?
Dodge Challenger is what I want.
My God.
I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. It's going to be
That's a pretty big switch up, Sip, going from a pickup truck to a Dodge Challenger. I mean, you're much lower to the ground. You got a little bit more horsepower. It's louder. Are you sure you're ready for that?
Yes. I mean, I know I'm ready. Just a preference. I don't know how. There's different ways you can structure
Dodge Challenger. It's a powerful car. I think you when you walk out of the car, you make a statement. In my opinion, I think that's good for you.
It's probably just a midlife or a late life crisis. I don't even know if I could call myself midlife.
I think you're midlife. You're midlife, Steve. It's not a late life crisis. God, I hope it's not. I like you a lot. Don't call it a late life crisis.
I've had an all-life crisis is what it's been, but whatever.
But you're no longer in shambles.
No, I feel pretty good now.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead. I want to talk about do you want to talk about the stadium or do you want to talk about recruiting? What do you want to do?
Either. I'd say the stadium.
You want to start with the stadium? Okay. How would you describe this entire process, dating all the way back to when Trev announced it? Because when Trev announced it, I was there at the press conference. I don't remember if you were, but I was there. And I remember what people forget is that the practice facility that they have now wasn't finished yet, right? And you were coming off of donating a lot of money to make the practice facility with what it was. And I think there was a lot of people, at least the vibe I got, and maybe, I'm curious as to whether or not you agree with it. The vibe I got was that people were like, ugh, we're spending so much money, right? Like, again, we have to all pony up and pay up for this, and it's going to be a long process. And it just seemed like everyone has known this needs to happen, but yet there's just been such a reluctance to complete it. Like, has that changed at all? I mean, is the vibe that you get is that we're now more fired up to do this than we were a couple of years ago when it was first announced?
Yeah, I think it was announced wasn't it 2023?
It was, yeah. I think it was 23.
I don't know. I mean, okay. First of all, guys, interesting right off. I don't remember a press conference. I don't even remember.
No, there was a there was a presser. There was a press conference. He was there. It was in I think it was where the media room is now, and he got up in front of a podium and he introduced it, and then he asked questions about it. It was February 24, 2023 was the official presser.
I wonder if I just missed that. But anyway, I think that the landscape.
Or sorry, September 28th, 2023. My apologies. September 28th, 2023.
Okay, that makes sense.
September 28th.
No, I don't know the landscape has changed that much. I don't know what we're going to get. I don't know how this is all going to go down. I mean, what's going to happen tomorrow? I know that. I mean, it's going to be announced as an agenda item for the for the NU Board of Regents. So it will be announced as an agenda item. There'll be some particulars. There won't be all of the particulars. I'm interested in, what are the immediate particulars? I doubt we'll see renderings. I wonder how much I doubt. I don't know. I doubt it. Maybe though. Maybe. I don't know if they will explain the math tomorrow. I don't know. Like, there won't be an opportunity, I don't believe, to ask questions. I mean, what you would wonder about right away is how will they handle the spending element when NIL is sort of king right now. I think there's a halting. I don't know that there's an excitement for this.
I think we feel the same way now we did 3 years ago. I think 3 years ago, honestly, Steve, you can maybe make the argument that you might feel worse about it now than 3 years ago when it was announced that this is going to happen.
Here's the thing. There's a disconnect that maybe you feel and I feel in this whole conversation. I don't have a strong feeling about it. I'll be very honest. Because I'm not a fan. It doesn't affect me at all.
Sure.
So I have to be careful not to feign, strong feelings either way. I don't have them.
I think, it's an interesting perspective.
Project.
Yeah.
It's a stadium project. That's what it is. I don't think, I don't know. I know this isn't popular with younger people, but I don't think you have to have a hot take on this. It's just a stadium project. All right. They're going to try to do it. I imagine they would do it in like shifts. I don't know that we're going to get the whole ball of wax. My guess is, and it's just a guess, is that they'll do it in segments. And to me, it's just a project. I don't have an emotional reaction to everything, and I don't have one to this.
I disagree. Now, I don't think I have a hot take on it. I just think I have an observation that people are reluctant to do it. But I do disagree from the fact that it's a lot of money, Steve. It's a lot of money, especially in this era where it seems like money is everything. And the fact that it's a lot of money being invested into a stadium when you've invested a ton of money elsewhere in the team as well. It's a lot. It's a big investment. And I think when you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, creeping toward maybe and we don't know for sure, but it seems like it gets closer and closer to being over $500 million. Like, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of money. And I think that people are well within their right to be curious or have opinions of how do you get that money? How is that money collected? And how that money is invested, and whether or not you could be investing the money in different things or maybe using the money more efficiently. I think that's totally I just want to say this. I don't have a hot take on it. I just think people are reluctant to do it. Obviously it's got to happen, but I do think people are well within their right when you talk about hundreds of millions of dollars to feel a certain way.
Oh yeah, I didn't say anybody's not right. I mean, I'm curious about. I'm curious. So we'll know more tomorrow.
Yeah.
See what it looks like. And I don't want to condemn anything before there's even an announcement made.
Oh no. Yeah. You're and you're right. You're right. You're correct. I think you're well within your right with that. And you're I mean, it's I agree with you in terms of it's on the surface, it's just a project. And it may not affect, it doesn't necessarily affect us specifically in the media, but like I do think when you're throwing around those big bills, it's a lot to analyze in a way.
Oh, here's the people that are affected, and I the people that are affected are the people that get where there'll be a reseat. People will have to shift. They'll have to shift where they watch the games. I will tell you this: these situations are very difficult for the man in charge. In this case, Troy Dannon. He'll anger a lot of people with this. That's the way these things work.
Yeah.
And so there's that. There's all that. I mean, some of what I'm suggesting is this. It's inherent in the conversation to me that there's going to be people angry. Yes, you wonder how all these expenses are going to be met. All of that is inherent in the conversation. It is what it is, and we'll just have to see how it's presented. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to condemn it before there's even a presentation.
Yeah. I think that's a very, very smart way of doing it. But it's funny. Let's talk about Dannon, because you bring up like he's going to anger some people. He's never cared about that before. I think he's actually been very good in making tough decisions and telling people, hey, I understand I'm not going to be the most popular person doing it, but we need to do this to advance. I think that's one of his best skills.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, in that role, you can't be worried. You have to have thick skin. The thing I've always said about ADs is they have to. This doesn't exactly go with this conversation, but they have to say no to people a lot, and they can't say yes to every coach that comes in and wants something. They sure can't say yes to every fan request.
Yeah.
You got to say no a lot.
Yeah.
So right away, it's tough from that standpoint. And then stuff like this. I know what people are thinking, because I'm thinking the same thing as far as the stadium project goes. Let me get this straight. You're going to spend upwards, I got to think, ultimately $500 million plus on a stadium project. You've got a coach with a $70 million buyout, and you're facing a season that could be rough waters. Okay, there's those two things. And there's this ongoing conversation and / struggle of how to pay players, football players in particular, enough. Because right now you have a head coach who's suggesting that there's not enough. Okay, so all of that is pertinent. All of it's relevant, and all of that must be dealt with. I recognize that fully. And I just sort of let it play out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what tomorrow brings, and then go forward with that.
Let's talk about Ahmad Hudson. I understand, like, getting these kids. When Louisiana State wants a kid from Louisiana, you're automatically playing, you're fighting an uphill battle. But, and this is how I feel, but there's something about this recruitment, Steve, where it's, Ahmad Hudson traditionally, a guy like Ahmad Hudson, a prospect like Ahmad Hudson, a recruit like Ahmad Hudson, who is destined to play on Sundays one day, should be deciding between, or traditionally is deciding between, Texas and Louisiana, or Notre Dame and Louisiana, or Ohio State and Louisiana State. What does it say that it's Louisiana State, LSU, his home school, and then it's Nebraska in an era where they're 19-19 in the last 3 seasons? What does that communicate to you?
Great recruiting, I think.
Yeah.
I think they've done a great job to put themselves in that position. And Trey Taylor deserves some credit, or a lot of credit. I mean, going back to the Boneyard Bash, the 7-on-7 event that was gigantic and made a big impression on a lot of people, including Hudson. And I think it's important for Nebraska to take these big, obviously, I mean, we have these conversations over and over, but I really believe it when I say they got to keep taking big swings at these guys. It's just not, I don't know. I mean, it's getting to be kind of complicated, layered, these conversations. I say, like, okay, I frame it up this way.
All right.
Ryan Day on a podcast, it was either last week or earlier this week, said, listen, if you're not a first or second round player, we're not really interested in you at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And they're draft record suggests he's not out of bounds and making a statement like that. Nebraska, meanwhile, has had 7 players drafted in the last 5 years. How do you compete against Ohio State favorably unless you don't have an Ahmad Hudson or 7 of them? All right.
Yes. Yes. Literally.
Not just one. I mean, that Ahmad Hudson would be great to have, but if you're shooting for the top, then you better have 8 or 9 Ahmad Hudson. Okay, because that's unless you're just banking on an occasional upset.
I was going to say luck. You're banking on luck if you don't have that, and
or upsets and hard work and being smarter, but. It's hard to outwork Ohio State. It's hard to outsmart Ohio State. And now they got way more talent than you. So, I mean, yeah, you're right in a sense. You got to luck out, upset them. And so to me, though, that's where the conversation is most relevant to me is the recognition that you better keep taking these swings. But then the other part of that, here's what you hear all the time. Sip, don't worry about Ohio State. We have to worry about Illinois and Iowa and Minnesota and USC and Washington before we worry about the very big dog. But all the while, you're keeping your eye on the top, I would think.
Is there an argument to be made, though, that they might be making the big swings too early? Is there an argument to be made that, hey, you build up to that and you build to the point where you win 8-9 games and then you have more leverage and you become more attractive to those top prospects and then you take those swings as opposed to having the seasons that they've had and then you're like, all right, we're selling out. Is there an argument to be made for the build up to that?
Yeah, there is an argument to be made. My response is that I think you can take there's nothing wrong with taking those big swings as you're progressing.
Sure.
I think maybe I think you can take the swings, not get them, and then plan B and plan C is still there. I mean, I like what they're doing that way. I do. I appreciate it. I don't know. I don't have the answer for Nebraska though. They're in a bit of a quandary right now.
I don't think it's a bit. I don't think they're in a bit of a quandary. I think they're in a quandary. I think they're. I don't think there's any holding back on it, Steve. Like they are selling progress and they are selling progression and they are selling development to a lot of different recruits who are interested in potentially playing for Matt Rule. But I think there is a reason why a lot of these guys that they are very high on their list haven't committed yet, because those guys are waiting to see if it comes to fruition. And frankly, the schedule is not very cohesive towards that coming to fruition, if we're being frank.
Yeah, the schedule's the schedule. I mean, it's not going to get that much easier ever. I mean,
I think I disagree with that. I think it'll get easier than playing 3 of the top 6 teams in the country.
Well, it's not one of the top 5 hardest schedules in the Big Ten right now. I mean, it's pretty hard. It's not easy. I don't know what last year was an anomaly. You're not always going to get that. It was easy last year, but not. I don't think you're going to get that very often.
I think my point, Steve, isn't so much about the schedule as much as it is the quandary is you've been selling progress. We're getting there. And unfortunately for Nebraska, the draw that they have doesn't necessarily give you the advantage to show the recruits, these big swing recruits that you're talking about, that you are getting there.
Oh, I know. No, I agree. It's hard to sell. It is hard to sell progress right now.
Yeah.
As far as that schedule though goes, I don't know. I'm interested in that. This narrative that the schedule's really hard. You ever look at the SEC? I mean, you know what schedules.
I mean, there are some SEC schedules though that like Oklahoma plays Murderers Row, and then there are other teams like Florida who get off. Look, there's no such thing as an easy schedule in either of the conferences, Steve. But you and I can both agree. You and I can both agree that playing Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State, 3 teams that will be minus odds to make the college football playoff, as those being your tier 1 guys, that's hard. And then your tier 2 is Washington with Jed Fish, is Iowa, who's had your number, and Illinois, who with Brett Bielema is on one of the greatest stretches that program has ever had in their history. Like, that isn't. Is it the hardest schedule? I mean, I honestly don't know. I haven't looked at the other schedules, but I can tell you that's very difficult. That's very difficult.
Yeah, I just don't like the narrative of, well,
I don't think it's a narrative as much as it's a fact.
The narrative of how do you expect them to progress when they have this difficult schedule? So you just got to kind of wait till the schedule eases up, and then
well. I mean, okay, that's a fine point. You just have to. It's okay. So I get no. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but it's harder. It's harder to show progress when you play those great teams consecutively. That's all it is. It's harder to do that. Now, is progress beating Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State? Maybe not. I think you can preach progress by, hey, you played them really close, or you played them really tight, or you were super competitive, or you nearly got them. You can spin an argument that way, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Steve. Is it harder? This is a good question for you. Is it harder to show progress with this schedule or last year's schedule?
Well, last year, obviously. I mean, obviously, you caught a break last year.
Yeah.
Again, I understand what you're saying. I just think it's I don't know. It's a tough spot for a program when it's just you just got to wait for the schedule to ease up, and
I mean, or you could be better, Steve.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I know. Yeah. Or you could be better. I don't think that's I don't think it's them waiting for it.
I don't make declarative statements too often about schedules because I don't know how good Indiana's going to be. You don't know exactly. Usually Ohio State never has down years, hardly ever. Since I've been alive, I'm talking. I mean, since I've been following football at age 6, Ohio State really doesn't have maybe 1 down, 2 down years. Oregon, though, I don't know. I mean, are they always going to be unbeatable for Nebraska? Is that what we're talking about? I hope to God that's not the case.
I mean, we're going off of talent, right? I mean, Oregon's recruiting classes and transfer portal classes have rivaled what Ohio State has done.
Yeah, I mean,
and they made the college football
you're
playoff.
Younger, you go off recruiting classes a little more than I do. I've learned that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Oregon in the last 5 years, Steve, has been consistently especially with Dan Lanning, probably closer to 3 years, has consistently been a top power in college football, and there's no sign that they're going to have an off year this season. Hell, they're getting back the guy that could rival Fernando Mendoza to be the number 1 overall pick this year.
Yeah, they'll probably be good. I mean,
they'll probably be great.
See.
Okay, I love you, Steve. This is great. I always appreciate you. Josh and I are, before we let you go, we're really curious. When is our honorary column coming out? We've been waiting.
I don't know. Things are coming up a lot now. So
we're on pins and needles. We're waiting.
I did the commentary on the radio show in Lincoln.
I saw
it. I kind of did it that way. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to handle it.
Okay.
I'll probably have to address the stadium stuff this weekend.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good move.
Yeah, maybe I could go back to it though. It's kind of evergreen.
Yeah, it's whenever you want it. We just give you columns that whenever you get bored, you can just go to it. We give you ammo.
Not boredom. It's just sometimes just need.
Absolutely. We all need Steve Sipple in our life, and we appreciate you coming on every Tuesday at 11 o'clock.
All right. Well, thank you. That was spirited, and I appreciate it.
Of course, as always. I will talk to you soon, my friend.
All right, Jim.
I love Sip.
Really got into the minutia of the schedule there.
It's not a narrative. That's the word that annoys me. It's not a narrative.
It is a difficult schedule.
It
will be a difficult schedule every year.
It's factually hard. That will factually be a difficult schedule to go through.
To be great, you have to beat great teams.
And they're not great. And Sip, I understand what Sipple says when he goes, oh, you have to, if you're going to show progress, you have to break, you have to let the schedule play out or it has to weaken. No, to show progress, you just have to make progress. This is a harder schedule though to show progress for compared to last year's. Like that will be, I'm calling it right now. If let's just talk about it. Matt Rule in 2 years is no longer the head coach of Nebraska. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. Let's say in 2 years he's no longer the coach in Lincoln. He's relieved of his services. Nebraska is looking to find a new coach, and we go ahead and we start talking about, all right, what were the turning points? Like, where did it go wrong in the Matt Rule era? Why did he end up getting fired? Right? This is a hypothetical. We go back, we say, why? What was the turning point? That USC game could end up being it. That USC game
could be an inflection point.
That might be the biggest what if in the Rule era. If he ends up no longer being the head coach in a couple of years. What if Dylan doesn't get hurt that game? What if they end up going 8-4? Because they don't beat Iowa and they don't beat Penn State with Dylan. They just don't. Dylan doesn't. His skill set and what he does, in my opinion, doesn't affect those games. They still end up beating UCLA. If they end up going 8-4, it's like, oh, what? You're like, oh, what? Okay, like. Yeah, he got hurt or yeah, he left or whatever, but they went 8-4. They won 8 games. They got there would be so much more momentum. If you had that one more win, there would be a lot more momentum. I think we would look back and be like, they didn't have a good defensive line and they were in the Big Ten and yet still they won 8 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we would go ahead and look at that game and be like, man, if they got that 8th win and they could have preached progress and they could have preached good vibes, maybe they turn that into more money. Maybe they turn that into a better transfer portal haul. Maybe they take that win that, they could have desperately used in terms of changing narratives. I think we'll look back. If Matt Rule were to get fired, we will look back on that USC game and be like, man, what could have been? What you could have turned that 8th win into. But I don't think the tough schedule is a narrative. I think it is a fact. I just don't think you can look at any way other than it being, they're playing Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State. Those are the three tier 1 teams in the Big Ten they're playing. And then if you were to make tier 2/tier 3 of Big Ten teams, you would include Washington, Illinois, and Iowa. That's 6 games right there where it's just, it'll. Any of those 6 games, if Nebraska were to beat any of those 6 teams, it would be the best win in Matt Rule's tenure here at Nebraska.
And he needs to win some of those.
Yeah.
Or he's
going
to be packing boxes like Happer.
If they beat one of those 6 teams, it would for sure be better. What is Matt Rule's best win?
Great question.
Cincinnati? His 2 best wins last year were Cincinnati and Northwestern.
Woof.
The 5 wins, the Boston, Wisconsin was bad. Boston College was bad. Northwestern was bad. The Colorado game, okay. That Colorado team ended up being 9-4.
That was a moment.
And they went to that game. So okay, Colorado in 2019. Colorado in 2024.
Yeah, it's probably that or Cincinnati, right?
That Colorado team looked awful that game.
Woof.
They were terrible that game. I'm shocked that they ended up winning however many games they ended up winning that year. They looked. I mean, that was probably one of Shadur's worst game of his careers.
I mean, that was a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Still, though.
Beat a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Still, though, beating a Colorado team in week 2, probably. Followed up by a Cincinnati team in week 1.
Also, you'll I'm sure you've noticed this. Neither of those teams
in the Big Ten.
In the Big Ten.
So we can definitively say if Nebraska, I guess the Illinois game. I guess the Illinois game all the way back in 2023. I forgot about that one. I didn't see that on comment, by the way. I just thought of that. The Illinois game. That was an interesting game. But that was the Illinois team. I forget. Was that the year was that a bad loss for that Illinois team? Still.
I don't like where we've landed here.
Let's just go to a break. Let's go to a break.
Yikes, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got down the rabbit hole. This is what Sip does to me.
Not you. I find myself being sad for Matt Rule, which is weird.
Do we want to talk about Ahmad Hudson or do we want to talk about the Nebraska volleyball team?
Wow.
I'll let you decide, Josh Hodson, right now, and
Okay.
we'll hit the break. What do you want to talk about? Ahmad or
volleyball.
All right.
We
Hit the
support
break.
women.
We're talking about Nebraska volleyball coming up next.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we have some news in volleyball here, which is part of the reason I'm glad Josh Otson decided to pick volleyball to be the point of discussion for our next segment here.
Thank you.
Great decision by you.
I'm a hero.
You are a hero. We love you every day. You do the show. That makes you a hero on automatically. The Big Ten has announced a conference tournament for volleyball. The Big Ten conference tournament will begin on Friday, November 2026. Sorry, Friday, November 20th, 2026, with the championship being on Wednesday, November 25th. 15 of the 18 Big Ten teams will qualify for the tournament. So we are back to the Big Ten having a tournament where you do not automatically qualify. You have to be one of the top 15 teams to enter the Big Ten tournament. How do you feel about that? I'm cool.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Simply existing should not warrant entrance into the conference tournament in any conference in any sport.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like the automatic qualifying for the Big Ten men's basketball tournament.
If like you can give me a bracket that makes sense with all of the teams, sure, go for it.
Sure. I agree with that. That'd be a great question that I don't think I can answer. Is it more likely that a team would go from being 17th in the volleyball tournament to winning the volleyball tournament to 17th in the Big Ten basketball tournament and winning the tournament?
Wow.
And if the team who was 17th in volleyball ended up winning the conference tournament, do they get an automatic qualifier to be in the NCAA tournament? Does the existence of a tournament then spark an automatic qualification into said tournament? I don't think it does. I don't see it anywhere here on this article from Abby Barmore of Husker Online that if you win the tournament, you automatically get in to the NCAA tournament. But anyway,
I think so.
There will be I don't think so either. I haven't seen that announcement. But anyway, the Big Ten Volleyball Conference Tournament will be taking place this season. So traditionally, for volleyball fans already know this, but the Big Ten Conference, 20 games. And then at the end of those 20 games, you decide, hey, this is the Big Ten Conference champion, right? Nebraska's won it multiple times. Won it last year when they went undefeated in the Big Ten Conference. In Big Ten Conference, they went 20-0. 17 games will now be the official Big Ten conference schedule. So they'll play 17 games now, and then the subsequent 3 games would come through the Big Ten Conference tourney. Now, there has been no television announced for this yet, so the TV plans are not out yet in terms of where these games will be played on what network.
Got to be BTN, right?
Yeah. I just hope they don't put some of these games on BTN Plus. Like, I think that
good take.
That would be very disappointing if you were to make this tournament and, you know, you would have now this drawn television interest because it's a win or go home situation. Tournament sports is always more entertaining than regular season sports, is kind of my opinion. Maybe not everybody shares that, but it draws you to the television more when you know, hey, this could be our last game.
That Saturday, that it'd be the 21st.
Yeah.
You're contending with football.
Well, so that's why I think it's smart that the championship game is on the 25th, which is a Wednesday.
The day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, really? That actually isn't. Now, has the NFL touched that day yet? I think they are now.
They are this year,
right?
Yeah.
So that'll be the championship game. But that might not be a bad, like, hey, 2:30 on Big Fox. You're going to have two of the best teams. Because that's the one thing that is very smart about this. And this is why, like, the SEC did this. They did the Big Ten, they did the SEC Conference Championship tournament last season. And then they had 2 of the teams play in that. They ended up playing in the NCAA tournament. So it's like, it's one of those things where you can get a top matchup, right? Where Kentucky won the SEC championship last year, and then they went to the national championship game. So you'll get a top matchup on that Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That should be on Big Fox. I hope that's on national television for the sake of volleyball. I think that would be a very big deal.
Be good counter programming.
I hope that these preliminary matches aren't on like BTN Plus.
You got to put it somewhere because this is a tiny ass arena we're doing this in.
7,500 people. the Fishers Event Center in Fishers, Indiana. Fishers, Indiana is about, I don't know how far it is north, but it's north of Indianapolis.
Gross.
It's where the Indianapolis Ignite play.
Okay.
So the Indy Ignite, the MLV team, they play there at the Fishers Event Center. So it is made for volleyball.
It is, okay.
They know how to host a volleyball event there. But yeah, 7,500 people. I definitely do think if this event gets bigger, they'll probably end up being
quickly. It will not be in this Fishers Event Center.
I don't think it'll ever be in Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, and I'm not asking it to be like, I'm not asking it to even be where the Pacers play, but
I think it could get there.
I think it could too. Yeah. Just it seems like a weird, like, you can fill that.
I think it could get to the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. I think it could get there one day. Real quick before we hit a break and go to odd news. Nebraska volleyball reportedly going to be playing, not reportedly, Danny Busman Kelly said at a luncheon. It was reporting done by Lincoln Arneal, though, that Nebraska will play Texas in a non-con game. We don't know where that game is. I don't think for sure, but all signs are indicating it'll be in Vegas. It also was announced yesterday that college athletic teams can now travel. They don't have a restriction on how many years they have to wait until they can travel overseas. They can kind of do it however as they please. I think it's pretty safe to say that Nebraska volleyball, at least in the next few seasons, will probably go overseas, or maybe they go to South America to go ahead and play volleyball. Here are the official Matt McMaster, the Matt McMaster book, the McBook, if you will.
Okay.
In terms of where Nebraska volleyball will play out of the country. -110, Italy. I think Italy's the favorite. I could see DBK out in Venice. I could see her in Rome. I could see her out drinking some white wine. I could see them going to beaches out in Italy. I could see it totally. I see it right now. I'm closing my eyes. I see it.
Virginia on the team from
yes,
Italy,
very good,
so
very good.
It would make sense to
go there. Be like, we're doing it for yes, very good. Josh Hudson put 2 and 2 together. +140, Spain, same thing. I think this is just DBK's vacation.
Oh yeah,
and I'm just kind of picking places where it would make where DBK might go, right? And she strikes me as a woman who would love to go to Spain. And by the way, Spain's a great place to go. So I put Spain and France +140, +210. That's just kind of like, where would you like to go to vacation in Europe while you also just happen to be playing volleyball? Now, these next ones are kind of more so pointed toward the volleyball aspect. Brazil +350.
They like some volleyball.
They love volleyball over there. It'd be an easier flight. It'd probably easier to put travel plans together. Still, you get the sun, you get the great weather. Maybe you mix in a little outdoor volleyball too. You do one, or you have some fun. You do a lot of great things in Brazil. +500. But anywhere in the Caribbean, they just go out to maybe they play in the Bahamas. Just go, hey, we're gonna go to the Bahamas and we're gonna play a bunch of exhibitions. That'd be pretty sick. +800. This is a volleyball one. Apparently, Polish volleyball. I looked this up. Is really
Polish.
Good. What if they went to Poland?
This sounds like a joke your uncle tells you.
What if they went to Poland to play volleyball?
The Polish play volleyball. Right?
Look, if you look up nations great at, I looked this up earlier. Nations great at women's volleyball. One of the answers was Poland.
All right.
Just telling you.
Who's medaled in the Olympics besides America?
That's a great question we often ask.
Oh my gosh, Poland lost the gold medal.
I know, I told you. Poland is good at women's volleyball.
Yeah,
I do my research.
All right, you got me.
What if they went and played with the Polish?
You said that, and I admit
you doubted me.
I went, okay, what third-hand website did not read this?
It's on there.
I'm like, oh.
So Poland +800. Then I was like, England +1,000, Ireland +1,500. I don't know where they would play in Ireland.
I don't think any Nebraska team's going back to Ireland ever.
Great point, Josh. Coming up next, we go from Poland to the odd news here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Josh, we have one story today.
One is all I need. This comes from John, who you say hates the show.
But he still listens. He's one of our most loyal listeners.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. I don't know what to think about John. What did John do for us?
He sent us an odd news story.
Oh, okay.
A California trash removal company was caught on video emptying the contents of a dumpster onto the front lawn of a customer they claim refused to pay their bill.
Damn right.
The owner of Express Rental Dumpster in the Bay Area said people moving out of a house in San Pablo had rented a dumpster from the company for debris removal. But the credit card they gave for the transaction became a problem. It was declined and declined again. They kept saying, okay, we'll pay you later. Sorry about that. I'm going to pay, and never did. On Monday, they tried again, and they called the customer. I forgot. I'm sorry. So footage from a Ring doorbell camera shows a truck operator talking to a person off camera. He opens the back door of the dump truck, causing some trash to fall onto the homeowner's yard.
Yeah.
The man then got into the driver's seat of the truck, backed it up toward the property, and fully emptied the contents of the dumpster onto the lawn. At one point, a man appears to emerge from the home and yell profanities in Spanish in the direction of the dump truck.
Look,
I don't know how you can tell all that from a Ring doorbell camera.
You know what? Ring doorbell cameras are pretty great.
Okay.
They capture a lot.
Do they have sound?
They do have sound.
Okay.
My mistake. My mom has seen me have drunken conversations with my friends on the front porch.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, it was just us getting McDonald's. That's all it was.
That's a good night. Hell yeah.
Great night. God, what I would do for that night again. But now I'm at the I don't even like being out till 2 a.m. anymore.
Really?
I really okay, don't get me wrong. I still do it. But there used to be a point in time where it's like, did you really go out unless you were out till 2 a.m.?
Okay.
Now it's
we don't
like
have to do that.
It's like 10:30, and I am now like, all right.
I think we accomplished a lot today.
Yeah, I think we did it. Like, also, too, I go out earlier now. Like, it used to be the pregame started at like 9:45. The pregame now starts at like 6:30, where, it starts with some porch beers, right? Or it's like out on a rooftop. So anyway, going back to the story, look, it seems like this person was given ample opportunity to pay this bill.
This seems like a last resort from the dumpster company.
It seems like, based on the reporting, that this was a very long process. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm in support of the truck company.
I think I am too.
If you don't pay your bill, you can't get away with it. We have standards and rules in society. When a good or service is provided to you, you must pay that good or service. And if that service you cannot pay for, and you knew it in advance, then shame on you. You should get garbage dumped on your front lawn. Now, it doesn't seem like it's been communicated that something went awry as to why they didn't have the money. It just seems like this is negligence, and the person thought they could get away with it. They didn't get away with it. I'm in support of the garbage company.
The homeowner probably thought, okay, once I move,
what are they going to do?
They have no course.
What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Put the trash on my lawn?
Yeah.
Well, actually,
yeah,
that's exactly what they'll do. So I'm totally fine with that. Pay the people when they do their jobs. Let's go ahead and talk about a job that Nebraska football rather is trying to get done. The job of Ahmad Hudson. We'll talk about that next here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
A couple things. Number one, the Rams released new uniforms. Did you see these today?
Yeah, not so much new and shiny, just sort of a kind of an update, a tweak.
Can I be real with you?
Please.
I can't tell one difference.
Yeah, it seems like more than anything, they don't have the off-white jerseys anymore.
Oh,
the dishwater jerseys.
They did the whole video and everything. I was like,
It's exactly the same.
They look the same.
Like
corporate is asking you to find the difference between these two photos.
Like the new Falcons jerseys.
Kind of
it doesn't say ATL on the chest. Other than that, what's the difference?
I would like somebody to go the opposite direction of minimalism in today. I would like somebody to make a uniform or make a logo in one of the pro sports. I'm not talking about one of these minor league teams or these.
Right,
I'm talking about like in the MLB and baseball, the NFL, or maybe even the NHL, but maybe more so MLB, NFL, NBA.
Somebody go full Seahawks.
No, go full.
Oh, you want more?
I go full Raptors in the 90s. Go full Supersonics in the 90s.
Matt.
Go full like Charlotte Hornets grandmama teal jumpsuits. Like go full. There's too much going on here. Minimalism is lazy creativity. All right. We have now done. Oh, we're being sleek and we're being clean and we're being cut to just. No, you just put the lines in solid colors. That's all you've done. You're not creative. Didn't you like it when logos, right? We used to have logos and there would be hidden meanings within the logos, right? There'd be like, hey, there's like 8. You could see on the logo, there are 8 stars. Well, those 8 stars represents the 8 different big districts that make Toronto.
And teams needed to release a graphic with the new logo explaining the new
Yes,
logo.
exactly.
Now teams just do it and say, the gold on this CFP logo represents championships.
There are bolder strokes, the shading actually makes it more gold than yellow. Like there used to be some, hey, you can notice here on the head of the logo, we have 4 spears that are pointing out. Well, the 4 spears actually are indicative of the 4 Native American tribes that once found the land that currently is San Antonio, right? Like that used to be a thing. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best example, but you know what I'm saying.
Matt, in 1999, the Seattle Mariners held an event called Turn the Clock Forward Night.
Okay.
Most teams will turn the clock back and they'll wear their vintage uniforms. The Mariners turned it forward.
I know what you're referring to. Continue.
And wore absolutely hideous jerseys, but they were designed to be futuristic and look futuristic and all that. I want teams to adopt these as their uniforms. I mean, the Mariners here in this, they're wearing.
Wasn't
these
it
are like
red?
These are basketball jerseys. Yeah,
weren't they red? Yeah.
I believe they played the Royals that night, and the Royals wore like some weird gold
sick
vest.
And tired of minimalism. I just think it's lazy.
You want someone to zag on it.
It's not creative. It's not creative.
I don't want everyone to do it. I want one team to do it.
They're like, weren't the old logos such an eyesore? Weren't there too much going on?
No.
Wasn't that the best part?
They were not.
Wasn't that, dude? What happened to like we've eliminated all the basketball logos used to have the animals holding basketballs. I miss that. I miss the Toronto Raptor being a real raptor that held the ball. Now it's just claw marks. It's just ridiculous. I'm just sick and tired of us eliminating details and creative things. I think and calling it clean and sleek. I think it's just lazy. I don't think you want to do the job as much as you wanted to anymore. That's how I see it. So anyway, the Rams came out with uniforms that I didn't even know changed. Also, cool moment of the MLB. So the Pittsburgh Pirates are playing right now.
Right now?
They're currently playing right now. They're currently tied against the Washington Nationals. Okay. 0-0 in the bottom of the second. Currently pitching for the Pittsburgh Pirates is Braxton Ashcraft. Okay, that's his name, Braxton Ashcraft. Okay, cool.
Such a
what? Chicago way of saying it.
Such a 26-year-old name.
Braxton
Ashcraft.
Like, I've never, until I moved to Nebraska and until I really started going up to Minnesota a lot to fish, I've never met more Hunters and Chases and Braxtons in my life.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A lot of them. Or like Barrett's or Brett's. There's a lot of B names in Nebraska, I've found. That'd be a great question. What is the letter that begins the most male names in Nebraska? I think B would be at the top of the list.
I feel like M and J are pretty high favorites in that as well. Matt, Mike, Mark.
I think T would do pretty
John,
good.
Sure.
I think Tyson,
Timothy,
Tim, Tyler. I think Terry. Terry's a great one. I think T's and B's would dominate for letters that begin the most male names in Nebraska. Toms. How many Toms have you met? I've met a lot of Toms.
A lot of Toms. Ton of Toms.
Ton of Toms. Toms and Tims. I think M's would do well. You got to think of the older man names. Mark.
Everybody who calls 1620 the zone is named Mike.
Mike or Mark. Yeah, that is true. Nebraska ball Mike, random Mike. I don't know how D would do. I don't think D would do very well. We know Doug.
Dwayne, Doug, Dan.
Damon. I don't know how D's would do. I think T's and B's would lead the club. Google says J and a landslide, says Black Cat.
Hello.
That might be American though. But true, Josh. We have 3 J's here. We have 4 J's in the building, 3 J's in 1620. Josh, and John. I know a lot of Johns, and I know a lot of Joshes. Trying to think of more prominent
I'll accept the
J
award
names.
on behalf of all Jays.
I think our top 3 would be T's, B's, and J's. Anyway, Braxton Ashcraft. This is where we started.
Yeah, why'd you bring up Braxton?
They did a pretty cool thing. So Joey Bart's the catcher of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Braxton's having a child. And they did a gender reveal, and the gender reveal was based off of what color sleeve was Joey Bart wearing when he went to go and catch for Braxton.
Oh,
so apparently they like hid Joey Bart all day and didn't allow them to see what sleeve he had until he came out and he threw out his warm-up pitches is when he found out that he was going to have a girl. I thought it was pretty cute. I thought I'd just
absolutely.
So let's go to the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline 402-951-1620. We have a text. We have multiple texts from the 402.
Hi, 402.
You see, Oregon had Grateful Dead jerseys last night or last year. Oregon. I'm assuming this is.
I remember
Oregon.
this now that you say it.
Is Dead and Company still a thing with John Mayer?
Yes, I believe they were wrapping things up.
Okay.
Last summer, this summer, what is a band ever really done?
Great point.
Poll question.
That would be a great poll question. Oregon Grateful Dead jerseys. Are they hot? Do you see them?
I got distracted by the poll question.
I'm sorry. So they're just like green tie-dye?
Yeah.
Is kind of what they did? That's hot. I like it.
Are people saying that's hot now again, like Paris Hilton back in the day?
I think it might be just a Matt thing, but I like I've said a lot of hot and dope. I like using hot and dope. I like it when is the Grateful Dead from Oregon?
Oh, couldn't.
Come on, how do you not know that?
I'm like Josh Peterson with music.
They're from Palo Alto, California.
I listen to music as a
So
little
why
treat.
did Oregon do a Grateful Dead jersey? I kind of like it when you just randomly do a jersey for no reason because you like it.
I believe, now I could be wrong on this, that Phil Knight is a Deadhead.
Is he?
Uh-huh.
But that's dope. Isn't that cool? Like back in the 2015 to 2019 era of the Cubs, if they did a Pearl Jam jersey because Theo Epstein loves Pearl Jam and he loves Eddie Vedder.
Where is Stibbs?
If they did Chicago Cubs Pearl Jam.
Now he would.
How hot would that be?
Hate the Cubs of it all, but
I can't read this text from John.
The Mariners and the Padres play for Eddie Vedder trophy of some kind.
That makes sense. Seattle.
Yeah.
What I'm sorry, San Diego. What claim do they have to the? Oh, isn't it the Vetter Cup? It was the Vetter Cup.
Yeah.
That was when they did the rivalry weekend. And then, do you remember that graphic where they had names for certain rivalries, but then other rivalries were like in division rivals or whatever?
There were like 3 or 4 pairings where it was like, okay, clearly you were just
forcing crap here. Let's wait. MLB rivalry graphic. I gotta look this up. This was great. I think I just joined the zone when this first occurred. I can't type today. Does that ever happen to you?
Just days where you can't type. I mean, some days you don't have it. You got to go back to the lab.
Okay.
It's important that you know that.
They had no, I can't find it. I want the wasn't it rivalry weekend graphic? Weekend.
I don't know about a graphic, but
no, there was a graphic.
But I know MLB had a rivalry weekend last year.
Okay, here it is. The inaugural rivalry weekend generates record numbers. This was on MLB.com. Can I find the picture where they tell you why there was some that was like, the Crosstown Cup or the Subway Series, right? And all of that, like they were like, these are why these are great rivalries. And then it was division, they're just like, in division rivalry.
I don't know. We got to the end and these 2 were left.
These 2 are in the same state.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's enough for a rivalry, right? And then it's like, I don't know.
We got to. The Padres and Mariners need somebody to play. The Cubs are already playing the White Sox. Who do we put the? Who do we put the Cardinals with?
What do we do with the? What do we do with the Rockies?
What do we do with the Rockies? Are they still awful? They still terrible? We have Balls tomorrow. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Balls is back tomorrow. You're going to want to get ready.
I'm trying. God dang it. This isn't a Fugazi. A graphic existed, and it was super funny how they named all this. All right. We're wasting time. I'm sorry.
Rockies are 6-12.
Yeah, they're terrible. So anyway, that's our kind of wraparound sports for the day. Let's talk about Ahmad Hudson. So lots come out over the last couple of days. We're down to Louisiana State versus Nebraska to get the services of the tight end, the 5-star tight end from the state of Louisiana. The dual sport athlete, more importantly, Ahmad Hudson. It's been
people forget
very well publicized that this young man, who is an incredible athlete, who I did see play at the Battle of the Boneyard last year, wants to play basketball and football. And let me make this very clear. Ahmad Hudson is going to play in the NFL. Like this, I mean, it's you watch him play, you watch his tape. I saw him in person. There's this guy, he's just way too talented. He's way too physically imposing. And he's actually really smart the way that he plays football. It would shock me that if this guy were to not get drafted at all in the NFL. Now, I'm not going to go and say this guy's a for sure first round pick. I mean, that's pretty bold. It's hard. It's very, very difficult to be a first round pick. And we see it all the time. Guys come in and they're 5 stars and they don't end up living up to their potential, but they end up being a 4th or 5th round draft pick, right? But Ahmad Hudson is going to play on Sundays. But he very, very much is passionate about basketball, and he's made it very clear that he wants to play both sports. And so the basketball recruitment has been a very big deal for Mr. Hudson. And Nebraska basketball helping out Nebraska football greatly by having the season that they had this year. I think my biggest point is this. It's come down to LSU and Nebraska, and if you read any sort of quote-unquote expert when it comes to recruiting, they rightfully so give LSU the advantage in terms of securing the commitment for Ahmad Hudson.
Yeah, how many hookers is it going to take for us to beat LSU? I'm willing to commit. Money in pot.
No comment.
I'm willing to.
Money in pot?
It's not a phrase people say.
No, not at all. Is it even legal in the state?
Look, you want to win or not?
No, I do want to win.
Okay.
I do want to win.
Okay.
I will break laws to win.
Stop asking questions.
I will. I will put on a graphic. Matt McMaster will break laws to win. Some football departments still know how business is done. All right? Sometimes you got to break laws if you want to win football games. All right? You think that's ridiculous? It's actually a fact.
Look at Georgia. You want to win?
I mean, you don't have to turn the clock back too far to find it in this state.
3 a.m. at Kirby Smart's house. Excuse me, Coach Smart. It happened again. You want to win or not?
Seriously, sometimes you got it. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
All right, Coach.
And the juice is speeding tickets, and the squeeze.
Oh,
is
hey, I didn't say what the juice was. Hey.
The squeeze is the bonds, and the juice is the national championship. Do you think Georgia starts offering up packages that include bond money?
All right, we need the money to get them here, and then we need the money to get them out. Use 2 separate pools, okay?
We'll give you...
The plates are labeled. They're labeled.
I'm going to be real with you. There might be a guy in Georgia who donates the money to get to bail out the players.
Well, it's been a famous, not secret, that Miami has... You get in trouble, you call this number.
I would never.
They got a fixer.
I would never donate to the NIL, but I would like to be called bail bond Matt.
Let's start donating to the fixer instead of the NIL.
I won't. I won't get you. I won't get the players here, but I'll get them out of here. If you know what I mean. I would love to be known as bail bond Matt.
I think that'd be a good spot for you.
I think
because you don't. I don't mean to put your business out there. You don't have enough money. You can't be donating millions of dollars.
Walking around Athens, Georgia, being like, "Yeah, Jerry might have gotten him here on the field, but who got him out of the penitentiary? Who got him? This guy." All right. Anyway, back to Ahmad Hudson. Ahmad Hudson is the type of prospect and the type of player who, obviously, because he grew up there, and he's got family history with Louisiana State, he'd obviously be the type of guy to be tied and have them in their final 2. But the second team competing for a player like Ahmad Hudson would be a Texas, would be a Georgia, would be an Ohio State, would be a Notre Dame. It would be national powers, teams that have won national championships or been to national championships or have been on the forefront as one of the bigger brands of college football in the 21st century, and maybe more in particular in the 2020s. The fact that Nebraska is the biggest competitor to get a kid who's a 5-star out of Louisiana, I don't think gets enough credit. And I don't think people realize how baffling that is. That Louisiana State has a lot of money. Louisiana State has this kid in their backyard. Louisiana State's got Lane Kiffin. Louisiana State's got Will Wade. Louisiana State has guys who can recruit. And yet, a Nebraska football program that over the last 3 years is 19-19 is somehow the biggest threat to the Tigers to get this kid out of state. To the point where it's not as if Nebraska is there as like, oh, Ahmad needs a second team. Sean Callahan was like, a lot of people look at it like 50-50, as with an edge toward to LSU. I think I got a feeling, Josh. I don't know why I got a feeling. And this is zero inside information. This isn't Tim Verghese or anybody being in my ear. This isn't me reading articles, or this isn't me or anything. You know what I'm saying? This isn't any of that. I just got a feeling. I got a feeling they might get this guy. It's just so out of left field in a way that Nebraska has put themselves in a position that if he didn't feel so strong about his relationships at Nebraska, that he wouldn't be in this position where he's at. You know, this is just kind of me looking at it from a logical perspective of it makes so much sense for one of the final teams to be LSU. It makes all the sense in the world for him to commit to LSU. It makes all the sense in the world for him to be a Tiger and go to a place that has won multiple national championships in the 21st century, to go to a place that has, Lane Kiffin, that has all the first round draft picks, that has proven, that they can produce high level, talented offensive football players. You go and you look at LSU's history the last couple of years in terms of the guys that they have playing in the NFL that have been first round draft picks. It's way more plentiful than Nebraska. It is easy for Ahmad Hudson to say, yeah, I'm going to go to LSU. I'm going to be a Tiger. But the fact that he is so tied and he is so connected and he has this relationship with Nebraska, which just feels like it's completely out of nowhere, is, I think it's kind of profound to me. And I just got a feeling at the end of the day that maybe this kid is like, you know what? Like the entire time, my mind and logically, and maybe even financially, everything has been tied to Louisiana State University. But from a relationship and heart perspective, I've always been tied to Nebraska. Because it makes, if we're just frankly going off of, do you want to win and do you want to get drafted? You would go to LSU way quicker than you would go to Nebraska. It's not even a conversation. It's not even a discussion. LSU is more set up to win, and they have proven over the last decade that they are more set up to get you to get drafted highly in the NFL. That's a fact. That's just based on history. But it's not necessarily about logic completely in this recruitment. Because logically, Ahmad Hudson would be tied to Notre Dame or Texas or Georgia or Ohio State or one of these other big powers. This is tied to relationships. And Nebraska football being as deep as they are in this recruitment process and being right there shows you how good of a relationship he has with that coaching staff. And a ton of credit has to be given to Trey Taylor and the peer recruiting work that he's done to help get Nebraska to this point. So I don't know, man. I understand it's going to be a tough commitment. I know it's going to be tough for them to beat LSU, but the fact that they are where they're at, I think communicates to you the great work they've done so far. And I think they can get this done. I think they can get this done. I think they can do it.
Does it matter if he goes to LSU? Like, I understand what you were saying about it's pretty significant that they're in his final two, but if you're not his final one, does it matter?
No. Well, no.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's a great question. Almost and maybes are only good in horseshoes and hand grenades. I do think you would have.
What if we played hand grenades with LSU? You think we could beat them?
I like our chances. If we played horseshoes against LSU,
we
dominate.
We'd crush. Big Ten horseshoes would dominate the country.
What if we did a horseshoe tournament with LSU, but we had them cater? They bring the
deal.
They cater, but we play. Okay, Baymon goes, I think Baymon put it perfectly. Thank you for doing my job, Baymon. I hate to play contrarian, but if it goes to LSU, it sounds like a one-score loss scenario. Yeah. I think that is the best way of putting it. It's like, hey, great effort. I think I would give Rule and I would give the recruiting staff I would give them credit for getting them that far, but you're not going to hang Ahmad Hudson's name up in Memorial Stadium if he ends up playing for LSU, if that makes sense.
Ahmad Hudson, asterisk.
Almost here.
Almost.
Like you don't hang a banner for almost getting Ahmad Hudson.
He'll be right there next to Joe Burrow.
Just like my favorite Zach Lowe, who's an NBA reporter, my favorite saying is you don't hang a trade exception, up in the rafters. Like you don't go, hey, Boston Celtics, $22 million trade exception. Like you hang the player's name up there, right? So obviously I would give them credit for the recruitment process, but I wouldn't be like that would not be a
bit of a results-based business.
Yeah, it would not be an accomplishment for Nebraska. But I would tell you, hey, they're pretty good at recruiting. They almost got Ahmad. Like it's not like they can't get opportunities to get good players. But I wouldn't call it a win if they came in second at all. But I don't know, man. They're just so deep in this process and everything logically and everything we kind of know about how these other 5-star guys work. It's like they would be looking at other teams. And the fact that Nebraska is as far as they are just shows you how deep their relationship is with him. And yeah, maybe they have an ace up their sleeve with Fred Hoiberg and the basketball staff. It'd be so funny if Hudson commits and then everyone can go, well, it's all Fred saved Rule.
That would be a wild slingshot of circumstances.
You know, John would do that. Guys like John, who can't stand Rule, would say, well, you know, he only got his best recruit because of Hoiberg. You know, Fred's the one who's really running the football program.
Fred runs the football program. What a tape.
Tommy goes, they'll get as much credit as we get for Micah Parsons. I love how Joe Burrow became a celebrity in Nebraska because his uncle he's got Nebraska ties. He's got family in Nebraska. Yeah. And there was the rumor of, he was going to go here and Frost said no. And then he ended up going to LSU. And people still tell that story. And even television networks do features on the people, on the boroughs that are in Nebraska, which is quite ridiculous. So, hey, coming up next, let's go ahead and talk about the NFL draft. I got some couple things I want to point out and we'll talk about some of the Nebraska flavor in the NFL draft. Coming up next here on the Middays with Matt.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
On this episode of Matt Feels Old, the NFL has released all of the players that will be announcing draft picks for their former team.
Yeah, you get the old timer to come up there and
Hi, it's a little weird for me though when you remember John Kuhn, absolutely blowing up Chicago Bears for the Green Bay Packers, and you're like, oh wow, now that guy's the old guy who announces the 3rd round draft pick. Like how am I going to feel? How are we going to feel when Mark Ingram announces the draft pick for the Baltimore Ravens?
Big trust.
How we James Conner is announcing a pick for the Arizona Cardinals. Matt Millen is going to announce a pick for the Las Vegas Raiders. I had a 45-minute conversation with Matt Millen back in the day when he was announcing the Buffalo-Nebraska game.
Yeah.
I was working for Fox.
Came here often.
Who do you think is announcing the pick for the Indianapolis Colts, Josh Hodson?
The Indianapolis Colts?
Yeah.
This is on what day is this?
This is on day 2. This would be the 3rd. Well, actually,
do we draft on Friday?
I'm assuming that this is day 2 or day 3. I think they're kind of throughout day 2. They do this because then on day 3 is when they hey, the monkey, the space monkey is going to draft, or hey,
it gets pretty wacky on day 3.
The Boys and Girls Club of America, or here's the famous barbershop quartet from the New Orleans Saints,
With the 42nd pick,
the New Orleans Saints select defensive lineman from Florida, Elijah Pickens.
That's day 3 of the draft.
That's day 3 of the draft.
But you're asking day 2, Colts. Gosh, if it weren't for WrestleMania, I'd say Pat McAfee. Oh, you're giving me a look like I should guess Pat McAfee. I'm going to guess Pat McAfee since it's
what do you mean
ESPN
if it
product.
For it is because
he'll hop on the PJ.
Yeah,
be fine. Might miss the Hall of Fame ceremony.
I'd say that the Pittsburgh Steelers have a pretty damn good lineup announcing their picks because
they should. It's their event.
They got the bus.
Oh yeah, good pick.
Joey Porter Sr.
Okay,
come on.
Mm-hmm.
John Stallworth. First off, can we talk about one of the greatest football last names of all time?
Stallworth.
Oh my God. You feel me? You feel me?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like John Stallworth. Now, obviously, Mr. Stallworth, wide receiver, longtime wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the greatest wide receivers of that franchise's history, one of the more memorable and recognizable, only ever played with the Pittsburgh Steelers in his career. But Mr. Stallworth sounds like a defensive tackle.
Sounds like he's putting a hurt
that
on
John
somebody.
Stallworth is not a wide receiver name. The name itself is not a John Stallworth played nose tackle, man. John Stallworth played linebacker. He didn't play wide receiver. But we got some pretty good names here. Tavon Austin, everybody's favorite college football player of all time, will be announcing the pick for the Los Angeles Rams. So that'll be fun. So there you go. There's some of the players that'll be announcing picks. Let's go ahead and do we want to talk about the stadium project, or do we want to? I even forgot my tease. What was my tease even for this segment before we got off?
I don't listen to the show, man.
Neither do I. Clearly, Creighton got a BJ Davis.
What's that now?
From San Diego State,
Mr. Davis.
They got a BJ Davis from San Diego State, point guard, 6'2". Had a good season last year for the Aztecs. Here's the number one thing about Mr. Davis that we need to talk about. I mean, obviously, if you go ahead and you look at his offensive stats and his just experience, you get excited about it. And you get excited about what he can do from an offensive perspective. And I think that's what a lot of people, right, when we first see these transfer portal players before we go ahead and we watch them, we go, oh my God, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 37% from 3 last season. But Mr. Davis is more known for his defense. He's a highly heralded defensive player. And we talked about this in the beginning of the transfer portal cycle for Creighton. It was, look, yeah, I mean, you're going to get Oswin Amunse, and you're going to be like, all right, he's going to, defend the rim and he's going to protect the paint, and that's going to be great. But there were oftentimes last year where you saw the perimeter defense of Creighton, and it was even worse than the paint protection. Seriously. I mean, there were moments where it's like, hey guys, if you can't guard in the paint, you're going to have to guard in the perimeter.
Their best defender, or at least their most active defender, had one arm for a vast majority of the season.
And their next best defender was the guy who had to run the offense on the other side, and Josh Dix. Like, they put so much on the plate of Green and Dix to go ahead and kind of lock down the defensive end, where it wasn't just, hey, get Oswin and protect the paint for me. It was, no, you should go ahead and get a guy that can also guard at the perimeter. This man, BJ Davis, is the guy to do that. And so, look, Creighton is the number 12 ranked overall transfer portal class right now, according to 24/7 Sports. And, last year they had a highly heralded transfer portal class as well. But here's what's more important to me than anything. I look at this Creighton roster right now with the guys that they kept and the guys that they had, and I go, this makes sense. This roster makes sense. They actually have, because last year when you were looking at that roster, right? What was my take on the roster was this: wow, they're going to score a lot of points.
They're going to score 100 points a night, but they're going to allow 95.
They're going to get, yes, exactly. They are going to run and gun and shoot, and they're going to be fast, and they're going to play better offense than you. And then you just got to just figure it out, right? It was almost as if you said, you know what? If you live up to your offensive potential and you play average defense, you're going to win a lot of games. I look at this Creighton team, this Creighton roster, and say, this is cohesive. This makes sense.
Gels.
This is linear, right? You got Wes Enos, who can be your scorer from the point guard position. You got BJ Davis, who can score from the guard position, but also is going to be able to defend at a fairly high level. You have your wings, right, in Jason Green and Jackson McAndrew, who provide length, who provide, people forget Jackson was playing much better defense at the end of the season in his freshman year, and then sophomore year showed some defensive prowess. I mean, the guy's 6'10", he's super long, right? I mean, he's got the potential to be a pretty good defender. So you have shooting, you have some defense, you have some wing depth with Jackson and with Jason Green. Then you have your paint protector and Oswin Amunse, and then you also have it with this Wesley Rosa guy that they got, 7'2", right, from JUCO. He could add that additional piece of depth coming off of the bench for that 5 position. So you're kind of looking at this Creighton roster and saying, all right, Davis and Enos makes sense from the guards perspective. McAndrew and Green, all right, that makes sense. You got Amunse, who's going to be really big in the paint. And then you got Hudson Greer, who is kind of your Swiss Army knife, right? I mean, the guy's 6'9". He could shoot the ball really well, but he can also, he can show some strength. He's listed as a guard, right? But he's got the height of a wing, right? So he's kind of the do-it-all type guy there. They got a little bit more work to do, but this roster kind of makes sense. I see it. I see what they're trying to build.
See the vision.
I see the vision. Is it good enough? Do I look at this roster and I say, wow, they're going to be right there with UConn? Do I look at this roster and say they're going to be right there with St. John's? No. Do I think, though, that in the Big East, by the way, Xavier got another commit today, which was, Big East doing pretty well in this transfer.
Stop it.
I know.
Xavier.
It's I see the vision. I see how this basketball team makes sense. And I think that is the first great step for Alan Huss and them getting back up to where they were in the Big East, getting back into Big East contention, getting back into winning the Big East regular season potentially and winning the Big East tournament. It makes sense. I see the vision. They got a little bit more work to do. Maybe another wing could work. Maybe if you want to really lock down in terms of the front court depth, maybe get another shooter, another guard, maybe. I think they have a lot of options in terms of the types of player that they can get. But this thing pans out a little bit. Thing pans out. Like, I think Enos, Davis, Arunse, with Greer, Green, McAndrew. Not bad. And then you got Cottrell Harmon coming in, right? Where John Walker speaks very highly of him and thinks he can make an impact right away. It's there. I'm not jumping on a bandwagon or anything like that or making any bold proclamations, but I think you can look at this roster now and say it makes way more sense and is way more linear to what Creighton can do in the Big East Conference to win more games compared to last season. I think last season you were like, yeah, they're going to have a tough time on defense. I think this season you go, okay, there's some continuity there. There's some give and take. You know, it makes sense. It's a team that, and I think I give a ton of credit to Huss and his entire staff. I think so far in the transfer portal, they've done a really, really, really good job, and they've gotten and addressed the issues that they had last season, and they've addressed that with some pretty high quality players. So we'll see how the transfer portal continues for Creighton as the transfer portal opened like 9 days ago, and there's still a lot of dominoes that have to fall from across the country. Let's talk about a transfer portal or roster cost for a different college sport coming up next here on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, Bert Kreischer is back in the Metro this fall. The Permission to Party World Tour, Sunday, December 6th at the Mid-America Center. Listen all to Unsportsmanlike Conduct for a chance to win your way into the Permission to Party World Tour. You can double your chances by entering to win at 1620zone.com.
Double?
Well, double!
That's twice. That's two.
Double the chances. Double the pride. Double the fall.
Oh.
Forget what movie that was from. Oh, double the pride, twice the fall. Count Dooku.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because remember, Anakin Skywalker goes, My powers have doubled since the last time we met, Count. I slaughtered them all. The women. And even the children, too. Like animals. All of the people who are like over 55 are going to be like, what is this kid doing right now? Thank you. It was a good Anakin, right?
Yeah, it really was. I can tell you've studied.
I hate sand. It's coarse, rough, gets everywhere. It's not fair. How can you be on the council and not hold the rank of master? I've brought peace, freedom, security, and justice to my new empire. Your new empire? Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. If you're not with me, then you are my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try.
Do or do not. There's no try.
No. That was the point of the callback.
But I like the plot of those three movies.
Yeah,
if you told me, hey, here's what happens in the first three Star Wars movies,
I'd be like,
wow, those sound fun. But the script and the acting, I think they're fine
like the
movies.
dialogue?
I think they're overhated.
Now this is pod racing.
That was a sweet ass video game. I don't care.
Alex goes, should we just have Matt do the prequels word for word the next couple of shows? Misa and Darth and Big Doodoo now.
You think I'm burning that idea in April? No. That's what July's for, my friends.
Annie, you've grown so much. Your memory haunts me. Such a bad. The dialogue's terrible in that movie. It's awful. Misa, thankful. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
I was just gonna let you go. See how far you went.
I'm kind of running out of. Do I have any more in the back pocket in terms of
July? We'll do a dramatic reading.
Oh my God! Yes,
Star Wars.
Yes, do it. Kill him, Anakin. Kill him now. He cut off your arm. You wanted revenge. It's not the Jedi way. All right, let's go to Josh Pate.
What does Mr. Schmedium have to say?
Mr. Schmedium, I will tell you in the next 2 minutes and 45 seconds. He tweeted this. Have heard a few $60 million estimates for 2026, with multiple GMs telling me the first $100 million roster is imminent within the current system. This is all in regards to college football. $100 million rosters are imminent, according to Josh Pate. Can I be real with you?
Please.
This would be the death of college football.
The death?
Dude, if we're spending $100 million on rosters, how many teams can actually spend $100 million on rosters? Like, seriously, ask yourself that question.
I don't know the answer to that.
How many? There are, I guarantee you, there are Power 5 teams that don't even make $100 million in revenue when it comes to college football.
Well,
I'm being serious.
It's not about revenue.
But that's the point. How can your roster cost more than the revenue?
Well, I would agree if we were running a business. Yeah.
And how are you going to get donors to just spend $100 million? Like, this is
what's
ridiculous.
what's the valuation of one title?
God, that's a great answer.
Mm-hmm.
But you would only do that once, though, right? You would only do that once, or would you do it over and over and over and over again?
Well, it's the
let's table this. Can we table this?
Please.
Let's table this. Let's put a pin in this conversation. 429511620. Matt M Sorry, Matt at 1620 the zone. Josh O at 1620 the zone. This is the question. How much money is worth a national championship? How much money would, not you, but a school be willing to give for a national championship? And is $100 million roster pools feasible and sustainable? We're going to talk about that next. Talk about that next. Put a pin in it. Think about it. That's our homework. Next 5 minutes, think about that. What would you spend for a national championship? And can college football in its current state survive $60 to $100 million rosters? We'll talk about it here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we're going to give away some gift vouchers at the beginning of next set.
Whoa.
Stay tuned for that. The gift vouchers that we will be giving away, though, are to Churko. So you can receive two $25 gift vouchers for just $25 at Churko. Or you can find more details at 1620thezone.com. But we are going to be giving away these vouchers for free at the beginning of not this segment, not the end of the segment, but the beginning of next segment. We will give away those gift vouchers. But we do want to tell you that Churko is making fresh pastas handcrafted daily to house dry, aged steaks, and focaccia bread, which is baked daily. Churko is the perfect date or just date night or any night out, really, at Churko. So you can get unique crafted cocktails. You can get extensive Italian American wine. You can get a lot of the great things that make Italian American cuisine incredible at Churko. We will be giving you an opportunity at the beginning of next segment to get some free vouchers to have basically what could be a meal or a heavily discounted meal on the Zone. So stay tuned for that. Before we hit this break, before we hit the last break, I asked you about $100 million rosters. I asked you about how much would you be willing to spend? How much do you think athletic departments would be willing to spend on a championship roster? And it all stems from this tweet from Josh Pate, who, as much as we make fun of his schmedium shirts, and
oh yeah, guy's plugged in. He's a real voice of the sport.
He knows what's going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And his tweet from his Twitter account, Josh Pate CFB, he tweets, have heard a few $60 million estimates for the 2026, with multiple GMs telling me the first $100 million roster is imminent within the current system. I just don't see how that is feasible. I don't see how that is sustainable. I don't see how that could be accomplished. And let me read you some numbers from 2024. This is from USA Today. They had NCAA finances, revenue, and expenses by each school. Okay? Revenue, expenses by each school. There were only 49 teams that had a total revenue of $100 million in the NCAA. 49 teams. That means that there are Power 5 teams like Colorado. There are Power 5 teams like Houston. Power 5 teams like Cincinnati, right? That don't even make $100 million in revenue before we get down to spending just $100 million on football, right? And don't even mention about all of the MAC schools or the mid-major schools or anything like that. Like, don't even think about those guys. They're not even close. There are multiple, 30 different Power 5 teams that, are only $25 million over having a total revenue of over $100 million before you just spend $100 million on a roster. And so, immediately someone will go, well, Matt, it's not all about revenue. And that person's right. You're totally correct. Right? The money you spend on a roster, on a Nebraska, on a college football roster is not all of the revenue that you're making from your athletic department. It comes a lot from third-party NIL deals. It comes a lot from endorsements. It comes a lot from companies. It comes a lot from big donors who've made their own money, who have worked blood, sweat, tears, built businesses, right? Build law practices, built farms, have put all of this effort, and they have a lot of money, and they're they're nice enough to say, okay, I love my alma mater. I want my alma mater to win at football. I want to have the excitement, the pride, the joy of seeing them win football games. I'm going to give them money. But when does the ROI wear off? What is the ROI of giving to college football teams? The ROI is winning. Well, there's only one winner every single year. There's only one national champion every single year. And so to suggest that these big donors are going to, year in and year out, give millions and millions of dollars for their team to maybe, just maybe win a national championship, to have that moment, just seems like it's a lack of return on investment. It seems like this is an investment where you make no money back.
Like, it doesn't seem like Georgia is willing to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak.
That Georgia article, I don't think people are paying enough attention to. With them, literally, I think people need to put in perspective. Georgia says, yeah, we're using some old school methods, and we're, convincing guys to take lesser paychecks because of our national championships that we've won in the past, and our draft picks that we've won in the past. Dude, you can do that. That's fine. But it just puts more pressure on Georgia to win every single year. It puts way more pressure on Kirby Smart to develop these guys into, first round draft picks. But look, Kenneth goes, the ROI is winning a national championship. If you win one in a 10-year cycle, it's worth it. That's great.
I agree.
That's fine, right?
It's not a dollar to dollar thing like a typical investment.
Sure. Here's my point, though. Okay, there are 136 NCAA teams. In a 10-year span, there's 10 national champions, right? Even if you are donating a lot of money to your football team, there's a high likelihood that your football team is not going to win a national championship.
Sure.
And there will be some schools, like, for example, a Kansas who's in the Power 5, maybe a Northwestern who's in the Power 5, Rutgers, Maryland, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, North Carolina. Like, we could pinpoint these schools and be like, guys, we're not even in the ballpark of $100 million. We're not even competitive with $100 million. And yeah, Kenneth might be right. The ROI is winning a national championship, and if you win one in a 10-year cycle, it's worth it. But how many teams are really viable to do that?
Like, and not every college football story needs to cycle back to Indiana, but I am a little interested in Indiana. Like, has the newness of being good at football worn off? Okay, we won one. Like, that was fun.
There you go.
Am I gonna keep donating?
That is my point I'm about to make here. To Candace's point, you spend all this money. I'm a big donor. I gave $5 million, right, to win the national championship. We win the national championship. Do I go, okay, I'm good. I did it. I paid all that. I paid the millions of dollars. I got the feeling. I got the pride.
That was fun. It's never going to be our first national championship again.
Thanks, guys. See you later. Like, how many people do that, right? And also, too, what if this happens, right? This happens every year. We have a team in basketball or and in football who spend a ton of money on a roster.
No, we're going to be good at this.
We're going to win, and then they don't. They lose.
Really? You're BYU. Why do you think you're going to be good at this? No, we're going to be good at this.
But here's my point. Kentucky this year, the $22 million basketball roster, and they have a very disappointing season, end up being a 7 seed, end up getting knocked out in the round of 32. If I'm an investor in Kentucky basketball, am I really going to be willing to give my money again to that team with Mark Pope at the helm? Am I really? You're like, wow, that was a waste of money. Think about all the money that might have been given to teams that were disappointing last season in college football, where you go, yeah, do I really want to do that again? What if I give $5 million to a team and I go, all right, win a national championship? They don't even win a college football playoff. You're probably less likely the next time to do it again. And again, and again. And that's the thing. It's not just a roster reaching $100 million one year. It's once you reach $100 million one year, you're gonna reach it the next year. You got to reach it next year.
You got to do it every year.
Yeah, exactly. And the goalposts keep moving. So it's just one of those things where you talk about $100 million roster. I'm just going from a math perspective. It doesn't seem incredibly feasible.
D'Lo asked a good question in the chat. Wonder if the investment feels worth it for Texas Tech.
Every year we have all of these different donors paying millions of dollars to different teams, and most of the time their team doesn't win the national championship.
I guess Texas Tech can tell themselves, oh no, we showed clear progress. We just need a little more to get over the finish line.
I think it's a different perspective depending on where you're at in the school.
Like, but Alabama, like, really, I'm giving my money for this. This is the product you're trotting out there.
Great point. I just think at some point, these business people, a lot of them, don't just have money because they have money. They have money because they're good businessmen or women.
That's why Warren Buffett ain't giving us anything.
They know that at some point, a business person's going to look at their bank account and be like, wow, I've spent $15 million on this football roster just for them not to win a national championship. I wonder what else I could have done with that money. I wonder what else I could have done. Think about it this way. Think about Missouri, right? They had all that NIL money coming to get Williams Nwaneri to stay in state, just for him 1 year later to go to Nebraska. I mean, look at it from a player perspective. Kenneth goes, it's not real money though, Matt.
Some of those, like to Mark Cuban, it's not.
I know. I disagree with that. It is real money. It's not my point of, I'm not judgmental. I'm not judging on what people do with their money. What people do with their money is what they do with their money. I'm just more worried about the system being so tied up in all of these different donors who eventually might just come to the point where they're like, nah, the ROI ain't worth it. It just seems like look, why do pro sports models work? Well, it's because they are owned by billionaires. They're owned by super billionaires who have a ton of money, and their team generates revenue, and that revenue then they put back into the team, or they put back into the franchise. And yeah, owners take massive losses, but owners also make gains. And so it's like a kind of, at times in the NBA, the model at times and across sports can pay for themselves, right? Where in college sports, you're directly reliant on all of these different donors and all of these different people willingly giving their own hard-earned money to you for a singular year. And if they are not satisfied, then what are the chances they're going to give you that money back again? It just seems like a bubble. It just seems like when you talk about $100 million rosters, but it seems like a bubble.
I mean, this sort of feels like a Big Red overreaction call. You're not paying for results. You're buying into blind faith. You're buying into hope. That's what the money's for. The money's for hope. The money's not for results.
I just don't think. I just think at a certain point, we're still kind of new and fresh.
Oh, for sure.
In this name, image, and likeness era, we're still very new and fresh in the wow. My team, who I didn't previously think had an opportunity to win a national championship, might actually have a chance to win a national championship. Let me give you my money. Let me give you my bucks.
Everybody
let me go
thinks they're a paycheck away from the national title. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me go and help. Let me go. What happens in 10 years when we all find out that the ROI really isn't that business savvy? What happens in 10 years when we all figure out, you know what, this ain't worth it? And also, too, this idea of $100 million or even $60 million rosters seems like a really good way at just weeding out a lot of teams' ability to be competitive within the sport. How many? If we're talking about having close to 9-figure rosters, how many teams could really pay for that? Do you think we could get to double digits in terms of teams that could pay for that? How many teams could get to a $70 million roster? Well,
you could have double-digit schools with that, right?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I could not tell you. And if you get to $70 million roster, something is probably going to have to change with the rev share. Probably going to have to up that number a little bit more. I don't know. It's one of those things where you see that number and you immediately react. There's a lot of questions to be asked here of whether or not this could be feasible and doable. Just some food for thought. Let's go to the text line, 402-951-1620. From the 402.
Hi, 402.
Are we going to see NFL teams absorb their college team of choice? God, I hope not. So like an NHL, AHL type action?
Oh.
The Northwestern Junior Bears? The Nebraska Junior Chiefs?
Maybe.
I don't even know how that would work. Dan goes, tax deductible donations that might lead to a national championship? I don't know. I'm not a businessman. Maybe. John goes, the school gets the ROI if they are lucky enough to win a national championship. The donor gets nothing other than being happy. Just saying, how much money can you give to a team that continues to not win the national championship to the point where you're like, all right, I'm done investing in this?
Well, how long can the AD string along a donor by saying, we just need a little more. We just need a little more. We're right there.
From the financial perspective, it just seems like how often can you keep asking people to give you money when they get no money back in return?
Like, I'd be interested in what type of money Matt Campbell's working with. Where you kept giving, it flamed out spectacularly. We got a new guy in there. And you're selling the donors on, hey, we got a new guy. We got a new guy in here.
Schaefer texted in.
Hi, Schaefer.
Owners get tax write-offs.
For everything.
That doesn't mean it's free, guys.
These
all
sports
right?
teams are charities for them.
It's still money. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe we've gone too deep into the hypothetical $100 million rosters, but just from a mathematical and logical and return on investment standpoints, it just doesn't seem like it could be sustainable. And it just seems like a very easy way to be like, all right, only these 12 teams can win a national championship. But some people might argue.
Isn't that how it was before?
Josh Hodson, I love hosting with you. That's what some people would say. Oh, we've just re-racked the deck.
It's just the same 6 teams and then a different
here,
6.
We had 10 in here. Now money, we've just shaken up the Yahtzee Cup.
Yep.
We got a new 10 teams.
Oh, look, 5 of them are the same as from the before times.
And 5 of them are for Texas.
Yeah.
Honestly, if we were to get down to this, we'd probably just have college football P12 teams and have the Texas Conference and then everybody else. The Oil Conference and the Rust Belt Conference.
Oil versus Rust.
Hey!
There's something there.
There is something
I'm not the marketing guy, but there's something there.
We could be the marketing guys.
Schaefer's a marketing guy. He's listening.
Does he have a marketing degree?
I doubt it, but
Schaefer, come up with a catchy phrase for us. Rust versus oil.
Mm-hmm. There's something there.
There's something we can work with it. There's also someone coming up next on the show. His name is Andy Kendeigh from KETV.
I know him.
I know you do. You see him on TV.
I do.
He doesn't have his sleeves rolled up because there's not a thunderstorm going on, but he does the
danger in Nebraska sports.
Well, we'll find out from Andy coming up next year on Middays.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
All righty, so we are going to give away 2 $25 gift vouchers to Churco. Okay? Italian cuisine. All right? How about this? We'll go ahead and we'll do an Italian cuisine based question. You can email Josh Hodson right now. And if you
email
Josho at 1620thezone.com, the first person to email Josh Hodson their favorite Italian dessert will get the two $25 gift vouchers to Churco. Your favorite Italian dessert. I'm not going to give you any hints, Josho at 1620thezone, but your favorite Italian dessert, first person email gets the two $25 gift vouchers. Kind of a Happer and Schaefer type giveaway from Middays with Matt. Not as clever as we typically are. But we bring on a man who, do you like Italian desserts from KETV, Andy Kendeigh? You have a favorite Italian dessert, AK?
Am I buying or somebody else buying?
Somebody else is buying. Somebody else is always buying.
Absolutely. If it's free, it's me. I'm in.
Okay. What's your favorite? What are you getting?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Free. You got me a free.
Okay, you are buying. You are buying. What are you buying?
Then I've got to be honest, guys. I'm not. My Italian cuisine desserts very limited.
Oh, come on. Cannolis, biscotti, you got tiramisu.
Yeah, cannolis.
Cannolis? Gelato?
Yeah, cannoli guy. Sure.
How about a gelato?
How about Italian ice? We can do Italian ice.
We can do Italian. We can do Italian ice in a week.
Is that like a French fry?
Italian. Well, I'm pretty sure French fries are from Belgium.
Sure.
If I'm not mistaken.
Whatever. They should call them Belgian fries. Is that because they already had the waffle? They didn't do it?
I don't know why we changed them from Belgian to French, but I just know that they're not from France. That's all I know.
Huh. Interesting.
Do you have a favorite type of French fry? You got a favorite type of shape for your French fry?
It's funny. We got, it doesn't happen often, but we did get lunch bought for us by the KETV brass today.
Whoa.
We had yeah, I know. It's going on until 2:00. So any of you KETV employees want to get out a free meal?
Well,
here, the food truck.
We're partners.
Life is here.
We are partners.
Yeah. Technically, I don't think they're going to check your ID.
Okay, cool. We'll be over there. That sounds like a great deal. Yeah. I mean,
I shouldn't say this out loud because there'll probably be a line going out the gate now. So there is a gated area. So it's not not every Tom, Dick, and Harry can get through. So I'm not offering free lunch to the masses here. Just you guys.
Okay. Just great to know. By the way, I heard
the cheese life is it was outstanding. Had a cheesesteak. It was delicious.
I heard that there's a potential trade on the table between KETV and 1620 The Zone one day. Apparently, I'm on the trade block. Do you want me to work with you for a day? Is that what you want?
Listen, I'm all about negotiations, and if we can, I normally don't talk about deals until the contracts are signed, but I'm all ears, baby. I'm all ears.
Well, all I heard was what might Happer and Schaefer want to trade me for Lauren Michelson for one day. And Lauren would come and host on the radio, and I would go and work with you in TV. I do come from one of your. I don't know if you would consider Kevin Suits a part of your coaching tree. I don't think he is, but I do come from an adjacent coach in Kevin Suits. I have been the school of hard suits, if you will, when it comes to TV. Yeah. So I am prepared to work with you. Does that sound good to you?
I'm ready. Yeah,
okay.
You got to write all your scripts and edit all your stuff. I'm in, though. I'll do it. I'll do it like today. Eddie Messel's anchoring today, and I am just working on a couple of long-term side projects that I've been putting off, and today's the day I'm doing those. So Eddie's anchoring today. So, I've been I'm more than willing to be in the office and not anchor. So,
well, Eddie and I work together. Do you know that?
Yeah, I do know that.
We work together. So maybe
Eddie's a good man. I will have to get I got to get your scouting report back in your TV days when Eddie comes in.
Oh, the scouting report was I was terrible, and then I got better.
Give me the strengths and weaknesses. I'm not a 5-tool guy. Is that what you're saying?
Script writing, strength. Script writing, complete strength. Editing videos under a deadline, strength. The actual capturing of the video, weakness. White balance, terrible. I was not a white balance guy. Had real.
What was the worst sport? The sport you can't shoot? Because I've got a couple for me.
Ooh, baseball.
Baseball is one of the hardest sports to shoot, especially if you do you play. I mean, if you played, it gives you a little.
I didn't play.
Better.
I did not play.
Yeah, so if you hadn't played, it really puts you up against the able. Lauren Michelson hates shooting baseball with a passion.
The thing about baseball is that you got to be smooth on the zoom. You know,
no sudden movements.
You got it, and that's really tough when you're first learning how to capture film. And so there would be times where I would get the ball, but Suits would be like, "Dude, you are hanky panky right now. You are too janky. You got to be in and you got to be out." I was good. I shot a couple basketball games. I was good at basketball.
Oops is good. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, I was a stud at football. I did a couple football games. I was pretty good at shooting football, but baseball, it was terrible. There was no way. There was a reason I didn't shoot any CWS games. Like Kevin knew better. Kevin knew better to send me out there. He let me go and do the interviews and like the practice and stuff, but like I did not do any of the games.
Football is a sport where I just tell our guys who are going out for the first time, I say, don't worry about that other stuff. Just shoot the touchdowns and come back. And they look at me like, what?
Yeah.
Just shoot the touchdowns. You don't need those like 3rd and 10 plays. Just the touchdown.
No, but you do need a couple, like the highlights where the kids are running over kids. Those are
no. I'm kidding. It's like asking somebody to go get the keys to the batter's box.
Is baseball your least favorite?
Baseball is very difficult to do because you can't really follow. It's tough to really follow the ball. We had a guy a couple of years ago, maybe before your time, Thor Tripp. You remember that name?
No.
Thor was probably the most gifted baseball shooter I've ever worked with. That guy could be like the Nesson guys from Red Sox, like zoom in on the ball on the flight of the path, and it was incredible the talent that he had. The sport that I can't really shoot properly is golf because you want to shoot golf like they do on the networks. It's just next to impossible to shoot golf like the network guys do. So then you're doing, swing. And then again, no janky movements, just a little nice little smooth zoom out to the pin and hope that the ball gets close to the pin. No. And like I tell all the young shooters out there, always act like the puck is going to go in the net. Always act like the ball's going to go in the goal. Always act like the ball's going to go in the hole for golf. You always assume the best because if it doesn't happen, you're never going to use it anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to layer shots. I'm just going to get really close on him, then medium, and then close, and then medium, and then far. I'm just going to...
You're going to match at it? You're going to match at it yourself? Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. We are not doing any ball to any... I know what I'm doing, Andy. I know what I'm doing.
I know. This is great. I just got done. I was in Lincoln this morning, started my day in Bill Dolman's
BD
TV class. Yeah. One of his TV classes at UNL. Got to speak to a group of about 20. And we have a nice little, it kind of rejuvenates. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful spring day. I had coffee with my daughters, my college-age daughters before. And I was like, guys, do you understand how great you have it right now? Like, this is the best. You're in college. It's spring. By the way, I saw people playing hacky sack, which I didn't even know if kids still did at this stage.
What
God bless them.
It doesn't surprise me. Hacky sack definitely seems like the Gen Z thing that would come back to be hip and cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think that would be because like now Polaroid cameras are back. Like Polaroids are really popular.
Yeah. And digital cameras, like really?
Yeah.
We got rid of these because we could just if that's where you want to go, that's fine.
Andy, it makes no sense to me. We got these kids my age who are shaking out the pictures, so they could get. We have better, first off, more efficient, quicker, but then better quality pics. But now we're all back into Polaroids, and they're like $100 for a camera.
I know it's silly. I don't know what the draw is, but maybe there is some draw. My youngest daughter, sophomore in high school, she wanted a Polaroid camera for Christmas a couple years back. So yeah, it all cycles back, baby. I'm waiting. I'm keeping all my ties and all my 3-button jackets just because I know it's going to come around.
You know what? You should do a day at KETV where you shoot some video, but using like the old cameras from the 90s, and it's all grainy. And it's all like there's a hint of brown tint all over like your footage and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think that would sell.
Yeah.
Nostalgia. It's no longer that sex that sells. It's nostalgia that sells nowadays.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That works.
We've traded
That
the
works.
two.
I'm all for like a Gene Rayburn. That's another reference you're not going to get. But the Match Game long microphone with the little tiny little mic.
I've watched the Match Game a lot. I love the Match Game with all of the like C and D list celebrities from the 70s.
Right. The husband walked in and saw his wife blank. There you go. That's your clue. Now match it.
Chicken.
And then they had to, What's for dinner tonight? Honey, for dinner tonight, it's blank. Okay, there you go.
And they put their hands, I wrote aluminum.
Charlie Nipsey Russell was whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Would be writing down with his pearly whites. It would be great.
Were you a Happy Days guy?
Were
you a Happy Days guy?
Oh my God, dude.
Sunday, Monday.
Hey, isn't it great how Henry Winkler's career, you watch it, and now he's kind of like this lovable, goofy old man. And back in the day, he was Mr. Studley of the Studs.
He was the guy. He was the dude. That was the one thing I loved about Happy Days, where they tried making it about Richie in season 1, and then it became Fonzie's show for the rest of time.
Oh, yeah.
Like nobody cared about Ron Howard. But then
there's a statue of the Fonz in Milwaukee, by the way.
Really?
They call it the Bronze Fonz. Yep.
Dude, is Ralph's? Do they have Ralph's out there?
There are Ralphs. I don't know if it's the same Ralph you're seeing, but Ralph Malk or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Ralph Malk.
They got to have like a Happy Days, themed place in Milwaukee. I feel like that would be a missed opportunity.
Back in the day when somebody would make a mistake or make an error in the field, we used to call it a potsy.
Yeah.
Like a potsy Weber.
We had a guy, I'll dox him. I don't care. His name was Justin Pottinger over in at ESPN. And we called him Potsy. That was his name. He was great. He loved it. And he kind of was a Potsy. He kind of was like a funny, goofy type guy that would make some mistakes. Whatever happened to that actor? Did he do anything?
Anson Williams, he could sing. Google Anson Williams. He can sing. He had a singing career. You could buy some of his albums. I'm sure you can find a couple of his albums at Goodwill.
Do you want a sport question, or do you just want me to keep asking you about 70s television?
I just looked out at my phone. I'm like, 13 minutes. We haven't even touched sports. This is awesome.
It's totally fine.
Like this every day.
Do you have another? It was Happy Days your number one TV show, or did you have another one? Did you like Gilligan's Island? Were you a Gilligan's Island guy?
Gilligan's Island. They were already on reruns when I was a kid.
Sure.
I'd watch that. But I was a first run Happy Days guy. I'll tell you the show that was sneaky good that doesn't get the run it should is The White Shadow.
Oh, what was that about?
Ken Howard was the white coach teaching in inner city Los Angeles. Carver High was the high school, and there was some. He was a former Chicago Bull, which was near and dear to my heart. He hurt his knee. That's in the open. He hurts his knee, and his playing career is over. And then he gets a teaching job in I think inner city LA, and that's what it was. They called it The White Shadow. It was appointment viewing for me. I love that show.
Do you have the DVD?
I don't, but I think you can probably find it on YouTube or one of the things, but I highly recommend.
Okay.
Ahead of his time. Guys like Salami and Thorpe and it was
sure.
Great.
You know what I'm getting into right now? I've been watching it on YouTube. It's Cheers. I love
oh my God.
I know, right?
Is that not a classic?
It's so good.
Classic. It's so good.
Woody Harrelson, it's weird to watch Woody Harrelson in that role because his acting career, he's taken on some pretty like diabolical, evil, like narcissistic, snarky roles. He is the most nicest, lovable, sweetest character you can imagine in Cheers. I had no idea.
And that's where he really broke through. And Ted Danson is the former Red Sox pitcher. It's such a great show. If you want to laugh in a wholesome, it's such a great show with George Wendt and Cliff Clavin on that. Cliff Clavin, the male guy, was what a character. And I think they just started his character as kind of a bit guy, and then they were like, holy cow, this guy's testing real well. We got to get these two guys together, Norm and Cliff. And what a great show.
Did you have a favorite Cheers episode? If I give you one Cheers episode to have me watch today, what would it be?
I'll tell you, anyone you pop on YouTube. Seriously, we were on a flight. This is past football season.
Okay.
And I was like, I'll do Cheers is for whatever reason one of the options on the Southwest flight.
Okay.
And I was like, I'll do some Cheers.
Yeah.
And It was I was laughing out loud. It was so funny.
Do you have
maybe that makes me 120 years old, but I don't care.
Sure. Do you have a go-to plane movie? You're like Andy Kendeigh's on a plane. He's got the full catalog. Is there something you immediately go to and you go, "This is what I'm watching," or do you let it kind of come to you?
Let it come to me.
Yeah.
Let it come to me. I made a mistake. I'm trying to think of what the show was. It was all centered around a plane crash, not the one you want to watch on a plane. I don't know why they offered it. I'm trying to think
Lost?
which one it was.
Was it Lost?
No, it wasn't Lost. It wasn't Lost.
Okay.
But it was
Paradise.
Was it?
I was like, why are we even offering? I'll tell you what movie. I'll tell you. Here's a better question. What movie, if you're flipping, do you flip on and you go, oh, I can't move anymore? I got two. One is Back to the Future, because it happened to me last weekend. Back to the Future. If I'm flipping, I'm like, oh, this is such a great movie. I'm going to watch a little bit of this. Yeah. And the other one is Ocean's 11. You want to get caught? I will watch Ocean's 11 100 out of 100 days.
Okay. I call this remote drop movies. You drop the remote drop movies in my household.
Yeah.
So number one undoubtedly would have to be Top Gun. Okay. When Top Gun comes on, I'm not coming off of it. Number two, and this is a nerd one, but like if Moneyball is on TNT or Showtime or whatever, there's no chance I'm moving off of Moneyball. It's my favorite movie. I think Top Gun though. That and the Devil Wears Prada, definitely.
It's funny you say Devil Wears Prada. By the way, I remember the plane crash movie. We Are Marshall. I watched that on a flight on one of the football trips this year, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? It's all about a plane crash.
Yeah.
This is so dumb. Devil Wears Prada. Never saw it. And up until about 6 months ago or 4 months ago during football season, I'm on a plane where I think we're going to the Vegas Bowl, and my daughters were talking about it because that's one of their favorites. I finally watched it. Great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie. And the dude from
Tucci. Tucci's in it.
The Hunger Games.
Tucci. That's who it is. Stanley Tucci. He's from more things than the Hunger Games, but he's anything too.
Yeah, but that jumps out at me.
Well, probably the Covenant, probably. Or what is it? Or what is it? The Conclave. It's the Conclave, right? Isn't he in the Conclave? Josh?
Just Conclave,
Conclave.
but yeah.
Yes, my apologies.
Not D. There's no D.
There's no. And it's just the Devil Wears Prada. Andy Kendeigh, this was a great interview. Thank you so much.
This is great. Hey, anytime you guys want to talk this way, I am in.
All right.
Dial me up daily.
We love you. We will talk to you soon.
All right.
All right.
Love
Bye-bye.
you, fellas. See ya.
We got to hit a break, and we're going to wrap up the show. Good segment.
That was a great segment.
Good segment. Good segment here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network. Zach Bryan is going to be in Lakeland next Saturday, April 25th at Memorial Stadium. Go to 1620zone.com and enter in the Red Zone giveaway for a chance to score a pair of tickets. And don't forget to listen to Happer and Schaefer for a chance to win your way into the show as well. So double your chances. Listen to Happer and Schaefer and go to 1620zone.com. We have some emails into the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. Equitable Bank, they take banking personally, pick up the first ring. We have some Churco vouchers that we're giving away after multiple people told us what their favorite Italian desserts were. So congratulations to whomever ended up winning those vouchers.
I'll be in touch with them in a matter of minutes.
And we want to thank you for all the tweets that have come in on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. Pesky Blues was in the chat today. We appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much. What are we watching today, Josh?
We're going to watch some baseball. The Texas Rangers take on the division-leading Athletics. Not often you can say that, so I took the opportunity. 3:30 on MLB Network. It's followed by Mariners and Padres.
Hell yeah.
We'll go to hockey on ESPN tonight. Blues Mammoth at 6:30, followed by Kraken Avalanche at 9. And then finally on Prime, new doc for you, Jerry West, The Logo.
Nice.
Traces the life and career of the NBA icon whose lifelong pursuit of winning was paved in sacrifice and loss. It does not sound like it will be as fun a portrayal as Winning Time.
I checked the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. We might have a special guest on tomorrow.
Whoa.
Somebody emailed us and said, I happen to design football uniforms professionally. The clean looks are a response to the overtop Oregon designs. We might have to get this person on the show and talk to us what the monstrosities that are occurring in minimalism in sports, because I'm sick and tired of us. Minimalism, dead to us. Dead to us officially.
Okay.
Add it to the list.
I will.
And never take Puxatawny Phil off.
Maker. I'm gonna rip his throat out. I will blow this man out. I will step on his throat until the man chokes. Let me tell you how. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. Dog. Winners. I'm on a roll.
Dude, you gotta love dogs,
right? Here's Dog. I love that. Utah Mammoth. Plus 111. Get St. Louis.
dogs,
The stinky St. Louis Blues. Screw you, St. Louis. Screw you. Damn right. Take the Mammoth. Thank you so much for listening to Middays with Matt, USC, and the crossover's coming up next.